Okay, Niamh, people have spoken. Rank those Star Wars films.
This is a stupid idea. They're always in flux. Okay. A New Hope, starting from 1 down.
Wait, no. So New Hope is your number 1, as in your favourite?
Yeah.
I feel like we should have started from the bottom.
That's so disappointing now.
Oh shit, sorry, will I do? Okay. Take 2! Radio Magic, do your thing.
Okay, let's do that again.
No. This is all staying in.
Okay, from the bottom.
Yeah.
But I think it's more shocking what I'll put at the end.
Oh shit, really?
Yeah.
Okay, you know what, Niamh? You are the maestro. I'm sorry for interfering.
It doesn't even matter which ones are first because
this super matters.
Because it's just all Star Wars and they're all there's bits in each and they all just kind of flow into one thing. It's like a poem, you know.
So New Hope is your favorite Star Wars movie ever?
Yeah.
Okay, number 2?
The Last Jedi.
That's gas. What's your actual number 2?
The Last Jedi. Then we have Revenge of the Sith as in 3.
Oh my god.
4 is Empire. 5 is Return.
Okay.
6, Phantom. 7, The Force Awakens. And 8, Clone Wars.
Wait, you prefer the Phantom Menace to The Force Awakens?
I do.
Do you have brain damage?
No, I just hate J.J. Abrams. I think he makes a bad film. I think they're amazing characters in a terrible, terrible movie.
I'm not a big J.J. Abrams fan. Like I don't like that one that movie with the kids with the alien.
Let me tell you about the best film ever, called Super 8.
I hate Super 8.
I hated Super 8 so much.
But I like Lost and shit, so I like that Mission Impossible movie he made, the third one.
That's a fun movie. Yeah, totally.
It's got Philip Seymour Hoffman as the bad guy. He's good in it. Niamh, that's a terrible list.
He should make action movies and not try and make films with themes because he doesn't know what they are.
But he has this box and it's a mystery box and he keeps it in his office.
His grandfather gave it to him, Niamh.
He's never opened this box. But it's the mystery and it's that temptation of what I could open it at any moment and see what's in the
box. What's in the box?
Yeah, but he won't.
Yeah.
But that's what keeps him motivated to come up with all these great ideas. And that's why he's directing the third movie.
I'd love to replace that and whatever's in the box with just you're a hack. So he'll open it on his worst day and just have that note there from Grandpa.
I think his grandfather's dead, Niamh. That's really terrible.
Yeah.
You really lowered the tone of this podcast.
Oh God.
I'd probably shave my armpit and just sprinkle it in the box so he could open it up. There you go, JJ.
You know what I'd put in the box? Another smaller box.
Whoa.
Yeah.
You could put a toe in there.
Because mystery is infinite.
Anyway, he's a bad director and The Force Awakens suffered for it.
So, do you dislike The Force Awakens?
No, I love every Star Wars movie. That's the thing. That's his pointless list. It's like putting them in an arbitrary list.
Man, yeah. So this is just your graduation of great movies to okay movies.
If I had to sit down and you're like, okay, which Star Wars movie do you want to watch? I'd watch them in that order, probably. I wouldn't recommend anyone watch them in that order.
No, that would hurt your body.
You should do the flashback method if you want to rewatch Star Wars.
The flashback method?
God.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's this?
You do episode 4, 5, then you do the prequels, 1, 2, and 3, then 6.
I refuse to believe anyone's ever watched them in that order. Over any length of time.
I'd say there are people who've done proper edits of it where it all flows as one big long movie.
There is the phantom edit. That's a thing, isn't there?
It just cuts out a lot of the bullshit.
Okay. Now let's never talk about Star Wars again.
Yeah. Until the Han Solo movie comes out.
Until then.
And we're all going to go see it together.
Really? Are we?
Yeah. We are going to see the Ready Player One movie and we're all going to see the Han Solo movie.
Guys, did you know that... I know we're kind of all down on the Ready Player One movie, but you guys know Chun-Li's in the Ready Player One movie?
Yeah, you've mentioned.
Do you know
I'm pretty sure I did not.
Do you know that Tracer's in it? She's very fast.
Tracer's good. She's not
Oh man, Ready Player One confirmed for LGBT representation. That's the worst.
Yeah.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Tracer's gay.
Yeah, Tracer's there. She's repping. She's like, hey girls.
None for Harry Potter, but...
No.
What if her and Chun-Li kiss?
No.
She has a girlfriend.
Yeah. But does she exist in that universe?
I think Tracer would cheat on her girlfriend.
Yeah, totally.
Are they? I think actually
She's very cheeky.
The video game characters in the Ready Player One universe are all just avatars, so I think it's just someone playing. Like they're not. It's not Chun-Li. It's just someone playing Chun-Li.
It's just a Chun-Li skin.
Yeah.
So it's not the real person?
No.
What's the fucking point of that
What's
movie?
the fucking point? That's bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
I can't wait to see Ready Player One. I don't know anything about it.
It's a pop culture magnum opus.
It's the worst book I've ever read.
Come on, it can't be as bad as Mein Kampf or something.
I haven't read Mein Kampf.
Yeah.
But you think...
You know what? Marley and Me is pretty bad.
Marley and Me is terrible.
Yeah, that's a bad book.
That dog's an asshole.
Again,
What?
That dog, yeah, and
he's a fucking asshole.
yeah, and the dog
In the
dies.
book.
The dog dies at the end and everything. It's fucking perfect.
I really like that as a twist between the book and the film. Is the dog is lovely in the film, the dog's an asshole.
Oh man, if I had that dog fucking taken out to the back of the shed like first week, no question.
Yeah, smack it to the back of the head with a shovel. Let the eyes pop.
Oh my god, no.
No, fuck it.
Compost its body, let nature do its work.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, this is cool.
This is the Dead Dog Podcast, everyone.
Dead Dog Podcast, everyone. Welcome to the Let's Fight a Boss video game podcast, the world's strongest video game podcast. I am sitting here with two people who I have no names for this week because it's been very busy. A lot on my mind.
I'm Majin Buu. This is Piccolo.
Yeah, fair.
Majin Buu and Piccolo, sure.
And who are you?
I don't know.
You're Vegeta. God.
Yeah, Vegeta.
Vagina.
That's totally not a character I made up once.
This is episode 68 of the podcast.
69.
Episode 69.
No, wait.
It's
We're on 68.
It's
I fucked up.
68.
Oh man, I was just about to get in there with loads of spicy jokes, and now
We can 69 next episode, John. Don't worry.
Sure. Is 68 in it? I don't think it is.
68 can be whatever you want it to be.
It can be whatever you want it to be. And so I know you two guys have been chomping at the bit all week because you've been like, man, what does John think of the Royal Rumble? What does John think of the Royal Rumble? And you kept messaging me and asking me about it, and I was like, guys, I can't talk about it until the podcast.
Okay, John, you've 5 whole minutes to talk about it. Go.
Okay. So this year, the Royal Rumble was very interesting because it was the first time they had a women's Royal Rumble, not just a men's. And the women's Royal Rumble went after the men's Royal Rumble.
That's cool.
Mm-hmm.
So was it the main event, or do you think people just left?
I don't remember. There's a lot of holes in my mind right now. But Asuka won the women's Royal Rumble, as of course she should have. That woman is a gift to this earth. It makes me so happy whenever I see her just do her thing. She is my favorite wrestler on the planet right now. She's fucking brilliant.
Do you know what she did on Twitter today that was really cool?
What?
She retweeted a piece of fan art of herself and this girl drew. She was like, hey, Asuka, do you like my fan art? And she retweeted it. And then someone posted under the fan art saying, you stole this is my fan art. And Asuka retweeted that. So it's like, wow. I just love that she was like so concerned enough about someone stealing someone's fan art to be like, this is actually the real person who did it.
That's really, really cool. Do you guys know what Asuka did? But Brian, this isn't taking up my wrestling time, right?
You can. I'll give you an extra minute.
Sure. Do you know what Asuka did before she was a wrestler? Video game reviewer.
Of course. Yeah.
How? She's so great. But yeah, congratulations to Asuka. The actual Royal Rumble itself was super interesting too because the match, it didn't have that many big spots or anything. But the final 4 people it came down to was John Cena, Roman Reigns. You guys know who they are.
Mm-hmm.
They're like the big company favorites who sell a lot of merchandise. So it was those two, and then the other 2 was Finn Balor and Shinsuke Nakamura. And those 2 are like the biggest indie darlings on the planet. People fucking love them. Finn Balor is very good, very, very good, very good wrestler. A little weak on the mic. I think Americans don't realize how weak he is on the mic because he has an accent. He has an Irish accent.
Oh.
And I think people are just like, yeah, he's grand.
Yeah, this is actually a bad podcast.
Yeah, absolutely. It really is.
Oh.
Did you guys hear that Star Wars intro? Jesus Christ.
People love that shit.
But
they love Chewie.
So the way it went down then is it ended up being Roman Reigns and Shinsuke Nakamura at the very end. And have you either you seen Shinsuke Nakamura or know anything about him?
No.
Okay. We have to watch at least Shinsuke Nakamura coming to the ring, because he's my second favorite wrestler in the world. He's like a really fucked up Freddie Mercury who murders people with his knees. He's amazing. And I was sure Roman Reigns was going to win, because what they've been doing is they've been setting up Brock Lesnar for this big... No one's beaten Brock Lesnar. Well, people have beaten him, but it's always like he always comes back and murders them. And they've set Brock Lesnar up as just this invincible almighty wrestler. And so I would think what they're going to do is they're going to send Roman Reigns to WrestleMania, so Roman Reigns can finally be the one person to beat Brock Lesnar clean, and then sell 1 million Roman Reigns toys forever and ever and ever. But then fucking Shinsuke Nakamura, the king of strong style, actually won, and I was just elated. I was so happy. Michelle watched the whole thing with me, and I do this thing when I get really excited. I look Michelle in the eye and I just start screaming in her face.
Poor thing.
She's the best. She puts up with so much, and I did that a lot because I was so excited. So yeah, like whatever else I'd say about the modern day state of wrestling, it made me, a grown man, scream like a small child.
That's good.
Yeah, that's it. All I have to say. I think I'm good.
Okay, yeah. No, that was an appropriate amount of wrestling talk. Thank you, John.
I don't want to put you two through much more, and I certainly don't want to put our listeners through much more.
I think there's people out there who really appreciated that.
Sure.
That was really, really good, John.
It was a good time. Bryan, tell us about Devilman Crybaby.
Aww. Okay, in the last episode, people were like, why didn't you talk about Devilman Crybaby?
Because it fucking sucks.
No, it was because I was still processing it. I loved it.
It's very good.
Yeah, I thought it was fucking brilliant. It's in my top 3 Misaki Uasa things that he's made.
Bryan gives your top... Man, it's a good episode for ranking stuff.
Yeah. My favorite Misaki Uasa thing ever made is Kaiba, which was made 10 years ago. It is a beautiful anime series produced by Madhouse, 12 episodes long. I did not know anime could look like this.
That shit insane.
Yeah. My number 2 is the film Mind Game. I have seen that film 10 times.
Wow, really?
That film has seen me 100 times.
Because I've watched that film once and I think it's great, but I'm still like recovering. I'm still like, and this was like 6 years ago, and I'm still like, that's a hell of a movie.
I think I watch Mind Game once a year just to really feel. And then Devilman Crybaby is very, very proudly at number 3.
Yeah, I thought Devilman Crybaby was a fucking blast. I loved it from start to finish.
It was just real good to read it side by side with the original manga, because it's such an interesting way to do an adaptation. Yeah. Because they borrow heavily still from like story beats that are very much like canon to the original source material, I guess, while also being very, very fresh. And I think doing an adaptation is an incredibly difficult thing, because you can go a route that is nothing like the source material, or you can go down a route that is way too close to the source material, that it doesn't feel like there was any point to have been making it.
One of the reasons Berserk 2017 looks like shit so much is because they have this thing they try and do where they try and match every camera shot to a panel, and they'll do these really stupid camera moves to try and link two panels that were never intended to have a camera move go between them.
No, because they're comics.
Yeah,
it's a different visual medium.
That it's just like, chill out, dude. Like, take your dick out of your hands and think about this.
Yeah. It's just real interesting to watch Devilman Crybaby and then watch the Junji Itou anime that's coming out. Like, there's 4 or 5 episodes out, and I've watched the first 4.
How is that going? Because I watched the first episode.
The first episode is absolutely awful.
I got my pitchforks out.
Yeah, it is terrible, because they are trying so close to be true to the source material, and it just comes across as the most like vanilla, neutral, fucking nothing.
The way I described
show.
it is, it's like when you're watching a student film and you have no idea what's going on.
Yeah.
I think this is like a very hard thing to adapt, though. I think some of the power of Junji Itou's like artwork is just being able to stop and look at something.
Yeah, yeah.
And that doesn't translate well.
No, it doesn't. And
I feel there's ways you could do that though. I totally agree. It's a hard thing. I don't think it's impossible to adapt anything. Like that's one thing I feel about Devilman Crybaby. It shows you can just if they can turn Go Nagoi's original manga into that, anything can fucking be anything.
Yeah. It's really, really impressive how faithful it is to the source, but then it's so fresh and original too. They took so many interesting, Crybaby, that they just took really, really cool like choices with certain things that were not in the original manga at all, but it fits the world so much better. Like all the jogging stuff, the track team is not in the original manga, but it works super well, and it gets a lot of secondary characters in closer with the two main guys.
Yeah.
And they've changed the bullies to a bunch of rappers, just like a hip hop group, but in the original they're just like these weird, ugly looking bullies.
Yeah,
but it fits super well.
I watched one of the OVAs of it.
Yeah,
those are a hoot. Yeah, you should check them out.
I'd say there's a lot of stilted dialogue and weird pauses.
I watched it subbed, but it looks deadly. Like it looks really cool.
Yeah. I really like as well with Devilman that whenever he transforms into Devilman, it's a very different design each time. Like sometimes he's drawn like super loose with a brush, but then other times it's just like a guy in a weird blue suit that looks like it's like a leather suit that's like attached to his skin. But he doesn't look like that, but then he does, depending on like how lazy the artist was at the time. he just wasn't in the mood for doing something super detailed, so he just looks like a mech. But they've kind of translated that as well into the new anime, where sometimes he looks super frenetic in his design. But there are some episodes in the middle that don't look as good as the top and tail of that show.
The one with his mom and dad, I thought, was very, very weak.
Yeah, and the monster that's based on is much better in the original manga, and it has a cool toy and everything. It's a really, really, really like super iconic design that's been reused like in loads of different ways.
Yeah. I went back and I read some of the original manga, and like some of the monster designs, like he totally gives some of those Eclipse monsters a run for their money.
Yeah,
like,
absolutely. Yeah.
Do you check out any of Crybaby, Niamh?
Yeah, I watched it all.
Oh yeah?
I think it's style over substance. I think it looks great, but I don't think it didn't say anything interesting to me.
No, it definitely doesn't say something. Yeah.
Where like I nearly find it very hard to describe why I like it, because I just watch it and I'm happy. You know, it's nearly like a sensory thing.
I think just like visually it is very impressive, like just fresh. Like,
yeah, it definitely
you don't
does.
Get to see the animation like that.
Yeah, it definitely doesn't add anything new to the story, because like the story of the manga is all there. It's just a really, really interesting artistic interpretation of it.
Yeah,
I just think like I couldn't like just give my heart over to it completely, because thematically it wasn't really trying to say something. It was nearly trying to say something about like inner urges, sexuality, kind of like having to eat food all the time, and kind of this bestial nature. And what it was kind of saying about those things got very sexist for me.
Yeah.
And how stuff was portrayed, especially like women's bodies. So it's like seeing the cool animation of those bodies, you can't help but notice there's no dick monsters along with the vagina and boob monsters.
I sure would have liked the dick monster.
I would have loved a dick monster.
Yeah.
So a lot of the framing for me just kind of put me off, but stylistically I thought it was really good.
I think thematically, this isn't a joke, I think thematically they could have said some cool stuff with the dick monster.
Yeah.
The author Go Nagai is the creator of hentai.
That explains so much. That explains so much.
He invented hentai. Like he had a manga in Shonen Jump, and it's considered like the original hentai manga.
He was in the first volume of Shonen Jump. That's one thing I find really interesting
so
about
important.
him. He was around in shonen manga when there were no rules in shonen manga, which is why his mangas are the way they are. Like, no one could tell him, no, you can't have a pair of tits that turns into like fangs and tries to eat people. Like, try and get that by the Shonen Jump editorial department today.
But it's a thing, like, it's even with that, I think that's cool, and I think that's a cool image, but I think with Devilman Crybaby, a lot of my issue was with the framing of stuff. So say, like, you're having animation, and, like, it's this woman, and she's clearly having sex, and you have it framed on the woman. It never kind of comes out and shows two people. Like, it's very voyeuristic, and I was
Totally.
just like...
Check out this babe.
Yeah, and it's just like, that is what it's going for, and for me, that would put me off, just from it.
I think that's totally fair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
In Volume 2, Mickey, the girl, is, like, naked for most of it.
Yeah.
Just because the guy was like, check it out.
I read the first volume of Devilman Lady.
What's that?
It's
Is it about a woman?
it's about Devil Woman.
Yeah, why wouldn't he just call her Devil Lady?
I don't know. I read the first.
Devil Woman.
I read the first like page, and it was just like a girl like just furiously lifting weights, and I was like, oh dear. I mean, it's what you think it is. Like it's. I'm not gonna say it's good, and I'm not gonna say it's interesting, but I did read it all.
Well, yeah, you would.
Yeah, anyone would. Good point, Brian.
Yeah, anyone.
Brian, Niamh, Hiso no Kane, Land of Lustrous. That's
Houseki no Kuni.
sure.
What's this?
It's Land of the Lustrous. That's the anime with the gem.
Steven Universe.
Oh, the 3D anime that isn't like Berserk.
Yeah, it's like an amazingly beautiful 3D anime. And I'm absolutely in love with it. It's like it's my favorite thing since Nier.
You love
Nice,
it.
nice.
I think it's
stay
great.
on brand.
I've been reading the manga like loads.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I'm like, so what it's about this world where these creatures that are gems are fighting this unknown threat called the Lunarians. And the Lunarians are like just Buddhist statues that come from the sky in this clamshell.
It's so fucking cool.
And you have these like characters, they look like girls but they're gems, and they like fight the Lunarians who wear them as jewelry. They just want to break them open and wear them as jewelry. I was reading an interview today, and the author went to a Buddhist school, so that's why there's so much Buddhist imagery in it.
Really?
Yeah, so like...
Huh.
But it's just one of these things where they've used the medium of 3D so well.
That is not trying to be a 2D show.
Yeah,
It
it's
is
really
just
not.
its own beautiful 3D, and that's how people should use 3D.
And it's something that benefits from it completely.
Like, that would be a weaker story in 2D,
Mm-hmm.
definitely.
You would not be able to, like, because they're gems, their hair kind of is what represents what color gem they are. So they might have yellow hair and they're a yellow diamond.
So you need need the geometry of that, and
Yeah, and like
and that's
their
what 3D
bodies,
lends
like,
it to.
cracking and shattering is a
Mm-hmm.
big part of the story as well.
Yeah, I think it's better to use models if that's the case.
And it's just like they can put a cool kind of like translucent effect on the hair
Yeah.
and just make it glisten in a cool way you would never get in 2D. But all the shot composition is amazing. Like,
Yeah. A lot of skill in that show.
yeah, and there's just these wide open spaces of these green fields with these blue skies, and then you see the Lunarian ships appear, and it's this really graphic kind of half sunburst that then turns into a clamshell full of statues. It's just one of these very visually appealing animes.
Cool.
Like, it's Madoka levels of that looks fucking weird and cool.
Yep. Who was your favorite diamond person, Niamh?
Oh man, Bort.
Bort's great! I
Bort's
love
so
Bort!
cool.
Who's bored?
She has like long black hair, and there's a thing in it where it's nearly shonen-esque, but nearly a subversion of it. You find out the gems from the start have a hardness scale, and the harder gems are better at fighting because they don't crack.
Yeah.
So this kind of this idea of power is already built into the narrative. When you meet someone and you hear they're like a hardness of level 6, you're like, okay, she's gonna fight. But because of that, there's never any room to grow. They can never train to get stronger.
No, you are what you are.
Yeah, you are what you are. And it's kind of this sense of predetermination kind of to all the characters. They're kind of destined to be these dealing with death from the aspect of something that can never die. Really interesting. Really my shit. It's totally my jam.
Also, like, quite funny.
Yeah.
It made me laugh quite a few times. And, like, a part of that was just down to, like, how strong the acting is. Like, those guys really commit to it.
The voice actor of Foss, the main character, is also the voice actress of Kumiko in Hibike Euphonium.
No shit.
And she's just a really talented, subtle actress.
Yeah. Great show. Really, really good show.
Fantastic show, and the manga is gorgeous.
You might say it's a good time. Guys, I saw the Heathers.
What the fuck is the Heathers?
Have you never seen the Heathers, Bryan?
Yeah.
Wait, the 80s movie?
Yeah.
Yeah, Winona Ryder.
Yeah, I don't like that film.
So here's what the Heathers is to me.
I'm sorry, I don't like it.
They ran out of things to make high school 80s movies about. And so the Heathers happened.
Oh, I know what this is.
Wait, have you seen this or not?
No, there's a reboot, isn't there?
There's a reboot coming.
Yeah, and it looks really, really offensive.
Is that the one that you don't like?
No, I don't like the original either.
Okay. Yeah.
I was recommended it based on liking Mean Girls and stuff like that.
That's funny because I totally see how Mean Girls came from this movie.
Oh yeah, it's a very important film, but I
Yeah.
don't like it.
I really liked it. I thought this movie's wild. Like, afterwards, Michelle was looking it up and she was saying how, like, it was written by a video store clerk and the original version was way more graphic and violent, but the studio made him tone it down, and the final scene of the original script also took place in heaven.
Oh, that would have been so good. It would have been like Dogma or something.
Yeah, and that's what I enjoyed about this movie. I just felt like there was this kind of unrestrained quality to it, where it was like someone really loved teen 80s movies, but they were like, what if this happened? And then what if this happened? And it's nearly like a kind of... There's nearly an innocence to how fucking weird it is.
It's about like a preppy high school, and there's 4 mean girls in it, all called Heather, isn't it?
3 mean girls called Heather and 1 mean girl called Veronica.
Oh, okay.
And Veronica makes a boyfriend. She makes a boyfriend
She makes a
who's pretty edgy guy, and who in modern context you could not have a character like that anymore.
He's played by Christian Slater, isn't he?
Yep.
And he's like, he brings a gun to school.
He brings a gun to school, but it's fine. It's fine.
And it's kind of cartoony, isn't it?
It's very cartoony. Originally they wanted to cast Brad Pitt in Christian Slater's role,
What?
but Brad Pitt didn't get it.
That would have been such a good relic.
Yep.
Yeah.
But it's like, and then so what happens is, I don't know, I feel like this movie takes some turns,
It does.
and I'm not sure. I think maybe people should just take my word for it that if you want to see a really fucking weird 80s high school movie, I think this is a good time.
Check out Heathers.
Have you seen it, Niamh?
Yeah,
Do you like it?
I'm lukewarm on it. It's
Yeah.
one of those, like, yeah, the Heathers.
I think I like the idea of the movie more than
Yes.
I do.
Yeah, same.
about-
I was just
More than I
disappointed
do
by...
actually watching the movie.
I've went to, like, rewatch that movie loads of times, and I kind of get halfway through, and I'm like, oh yeah, it's the Heathers.
Yeah. It's got a really, really weird cover as well, because it's just Winona Ryder and Christian Slater. And, like, they're interesting, but I want it to be about the Heathers. Because they're
Heathers
way
are very good.
'cause
They're
I
very mean.
I really, really liked Recess growing up, and they have in the Recess they have the Ashleys, but they're clearly based on the Heathers.
Oh my god!
Where it's
yeah.
like 4 mean girls who are all called Ashley, but they have like different like ways of saying Ashley, and they have different surnames. But I do like when, and I also tried watching Bratz the other day. Bratz the movie.
Wait, what's Bratz?
The dolls.
the
Bratz dolls.
the dolls.
Oh my god!
But there's a movie, but it's not very good. But it's got that same aesthetic where it's like a group of 4 girls that kind of do their own thing, and they have their clique, and they're kind of untouchable, or are they?
And are they the good guys?
They're all assholes in that film.
But they can't make the Bratz look mean because people want to buy them.
But the Bratz are kind of the edgy answer to Barbie, so they kind of have to be a little
Yeah,
mean.
they're kind of like, fuck you, mom.
Yeah.
Huh?
Skinny jeans, yeah.
Yeah. Passion for fashion.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Did you like Bratz, Niamh?
My sister had loads of Bratz.
Yeah, your sister.
I wasn't a doll person.
You're such a doll person.
I'm an action figure person.
Yeah, dolls.
If you want to get into semantics.
You've got loads of small plastic people that you concentrate your feelings into. That's a doll.
He's not wrong, Niamh.
Yeah.
You've got a Godzilla and a tricycle.
That is true.
Brian, tell us about the good time.
Okay, it's a film called Good Time. It came out... Alright, this is directed by the Safdie brothers, who are these 2 brothers from Queens in New York. And they've made a few films, but they made this film called Good Time. And it came out 1 year ago at the Sundance Film Festival. But when something comes out in Sundance, it means you don't actually get to see it for like a whole year. And it'll get a proper film distribution towards the end of the year. And if it's done by A24, you know it's a good one. Because I really, really like A24 distribution.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's usually at the start of a lot of my favorite indie movies.
They just know what's up.
Yeah, they're real good at picking them. Except for Swiss Army Man, which I didn't like. Never mind.
It's the dead farting Harry Potter one.
I fucking hated that movie.
It's the film that stars Danny Radbones.
Did we watch that together?
Yeah, and it was lame.
And did we turn it off?
Yeah.
That movie was fucking dog shit. Daniel Radcliffe?
Danny Radbones.
Danny Radbones. I think you can do better. I think that I've always been rooting for little Danny. I don't know why,
Yeah, Harry.
but I never cared about him in Harry Potter. But once Harry Potter ended, I became very concerned for his future, and I'm always pulling for the guy.
Has he been in a good movie?
He played a neo-Nazi in Imperium.
Let me tell you about a movie called Horns.
No, Horns isn't that good.
I haven't seen it.
It's not. He does a good accent. He's good in the romantic comedy starring Zoe Kazan, where she plays an animator who may or may not get a job in the animation industry in Ireland.
Is she the interest? Is he the interest? Okay.
Yeah.
I was like, there's no way he's the love interest, but if it's an animator, that means the bar is super fucking.
Oh yeah, no, it is. It's real. Yeah. It's real quirky. Mm-hmm.
Who made that film? What the fuck?
I can't remember the name of this film. I'll show it to you later.
I've never seen a film where an animator is the star.
Claire in House of Cards. She's in a film where the animator is the main character, and he literally goes, he's animated at the time. Don't worry, I'm an animator.
It's not Cool World.
No, it's a recent film. I want to talk about Good Time.
Okay.
I've seen Cool World.
No, tell me.
Good Time is just one of those films. Okay, I watched this film and then I watched it right away again.
Wow, really?
Because I really liked it. It's just, I didn't know what was going to happen, and then I really loved it. It's a film about Robert Pattinson from Twilight. Remember him?
Oh, yeah.
And his mentally challenged deaf brother who rob banks together. But then it's not about that at all. That's like maybe the first 10 minutes, and then it just turns into this weird movie about like, I have to get my brother out of jail, but he got beat up, so he's actually in a hospital, but there's a cop outside the hospital room, and I have to get my brother.
So he's trying to break his brother out of a hospital for the entire film?
Is this sad or funny or both?
Everything.
Okay, sure. Everything.
It's just really fucking weird. It's just one of those movies where it's like, this is like an 18s movie. This isn't like 16s or like a movie that's like a soft 18s. This is like an 18s film.
I like it when I see a movie that makes me feel like I shouldn't be watching it.
Oh yeah, this is one of those movies.
The only movie that makes me feel like that consistently is Welcome to the Dollhouse.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
I could be 80 years old and I would feel like that movie's too much for me.
Yeah, no, this is one of those movies where like you're watching certain bits and you have to make sure no one's going to walk in on you.
Sure. Did you watch it at work, Bryan?
Oh yeah. And I was like, oh no, and then I watched it again at work because I love it. It's got the weirdest music. Like, it's such a fucking broken film.
I love broken movies.
It's just it's like that film Buzzard or Welcome to the Dollhouse.
Buzzard was great.
Yeah, Buzzard's one of those. I love Buzzard. I just really like indie films where it's just like they didn't give a fuck, but it's still a good film.
How was Robert in it?
He's amazing. He's such a piece of shit in that film. I love him in it.
Did you guys see Lindsay Ellis's Twilight video? I apologize.
Yeah.
Very good.
It was a good video.
Totally agree with everything she says in it.
No, I must watch it.
Yeah.
It's about like apologizing to Stephanie Meyer that people kind of heaped on her for.
Just the whole thing.
Aww.
Where, like, I knew a bunch of lads when they were like, "Oh, that's actually the worst movie ever." It's like it's really not.
Yeah, it
like,
really is.
No,
it's silly fantasy fulfillment in the same way all these other movies are silly fantasy fulfillments. Now, if you want to make an argument for like the latter movies being the worst movies ever, sure. But that first one and that first book, I've read all those books. They're not. They're the first two are fine.
Yeah.
They are watchable.
Yeah.
And you can like convert them into a mild form of entertainment.
I am sure at some point in my life I will rewatch that first movie and probably have a pretty okay time doing so.
Yeah, you might.
Beautiful landscape.
You might even have a good time. I just really, really want to like talk about the brother. I just want to talk about his brother because it's written and directed by these two brothers called one's called Benny and he's in the film, but their surname is Safdie. They're both very Jewish brothers.
Sure.
And they look amazing. Like, they just look like real New Yorkers. I love what they have going on.
Okay.
But the bigger of the two is in the film, and he plays a mentally challenged man. I don't know what age he is, but he's also deaf. And so, but he nails it. And I actually thought he was like actually mentally challenged and deaf. And he just plays a really, really interesting character who loves his brother and will like do whatever his brother tells him, even though his brother is a complete scumbag. But there's a bit where he's in prison, but he's in holding, so he's not like properly like in the system. But he's on the phone giving out to his grandmother about his brother, and it's just some of the best acting I've ever seen in my life.
Okay. I might watch that this weekend. That's
really fun. I know, and you know how I showed you that poster, and it's like this really, really visceral airbrush photograph of the two brothers together.
What I loved about that is your only description was, "That's Robert Pattinson," and then I looked at it and I was like, "What the fuck?"
So you know how I'm always like, I'll like tweet out a photo of this. I promise I'm gonna put up the poster of this movie on our Twitter, because it's I love it.
It's very good. Bryan, I'm glad this film makes you so happy.
Yeah, it's one of my favorite films ever made.
Okay, perfect.
It's so bad.
Oh, and I think that's everything. Oh, actually, you know what? I want to give a quick mention to. I've been watching a whole bunch of Friends.
Yeah, well, yeah, me too.
That came out on Netflix.
Yeah.
I feel Friends sure has a golden period, like 2 to 4, maybe.
For me, it's like Monica and Chandler's early years.
That's like 6, is it?
Yeah,
no, that's
kind of 5-ish.
For me, it's 4 to 6 are my peak Friends.
Yeah. That's when they start turning Monica into a kind of different character. Because at the start of Friends, Monica's like this sort of down on her luck kind of person, but then she can't be that forever.
Yeah.
So they kind of turn her into like the kind of pedantic neat freak, and I think that's kind of less interesting.
I liked that.
Yeah.
I was an obsessive cleaner, so I was like, huh.
I really like how like Chandler's meant to be like the funniest friend, but then like the underdog that is Ross kind of comes in towards the latter seasons and becomes the funniest friend. Because
Ross is like an unlikable asshole right from the start, but they start writing him like that halfway through.
Yeah.
Michelle hadn't seen a whole bunch of Friends, and the way I described it was, okay, this is the start of Ross's mental breakdown arc. And that is one of my favourite parts.
Yeah.
You know, when he's in his new apartment and he's showing his boss around. And he's like, get off my sister! It's so good. I was kind of worried when I started watching the first season, honestly, because I was like, oh, this isn't...
The first season's rough.
Hey, I was like,
yeah,
I'm getting kind of shades of, like, Big Bang Theory here.
Ooh. Oh, no.
Like, not as bad, but...
It is kind of trashy.
But in the same league, you know? But then come the like second or third season, I feel like the like writing tightens up a lot. All those actors are brilliant.
Yeah.
They are all fantastic. Their comedic timing, their physical comedy, they're so fucking funny.
Yeah, no, they're all really actually having a lot of fun making that show.
There's a bunch of lines in it where like they'll make a joke and I'll laugh and I'll be like, I wouldn't have laughed at that joke if they hadn't committed to it so much.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And they're all good at physical comedy in their own way.
Really, really good.
And there are bits where it'll be all 6 of them in the coffee house, and someone will say a joke, but they'll have to like bite into their food to stop laughing. But it's cool to see it in HD because you can see those little details of them like trying not to lose it, because it is very funny.
Jennifer Aniston's amazing.
Yeah.
She's very good. Yeah.
Who's your favourite friend?
I relate to Chandler a lot.
Yeah, Chandler is very good.
I bet if Chandler were alive today, he would watch anime.
Why is Chandler dead?
You know what I mean.
Yeah, like I think it's 50-50 with Chandler and Ross.
What, you like Ross the most?
Oh,
Ross is your favorite
I totally
friend?
get that.
Yeah,
like I totally get. Like not
Ross is the underdog. He's the underdog.
When Ross turns into a loser, he's the fucking best.
But Ross is entertaining, but he's horrible.
They're all horrible.
Back to that thing.
They're not all horrible.
This comes back to that thing where you're like, niceness is important. Me and Bryan don't think that.
They're TV show characters. Ross is a good television show character.
Yeah, but so's Phoebe.
She's number 6 for me.
Yeah.
Phoebe and the Dollhouse episode is one of the funniest episodes of Friends.
What was that again?
It's when the house goes on fire.
That's a pretty good episode.
All of Phoebe's art is amazing.
Art? Oh, okay, yeah. I like Phoebe a lot. And what's the girl who plays her?
Lisa Kudrow.
Yeah, Lisa Kudrow.
She's very good.
And
It sounds like you're lying.
I'm not.
Yeah, you don't sound genuine at all.
You're like, what's your name?
I think
He's
Lisa
so
Kudrow is
dismissive.
really good. I think the writing behind Phoebe is not my cup of tea.
Yeah, she's a mixed bag.
Yeah, and when they, I think she's the hardest character for them to get right, and when they get her wrong, it falls really flat.
I think she's like the not proto character, but she's like one of these like trope characters where it's kind of this weird character that could exist forever. She's kind of ethereal. I really enjoy those.
Yeah, I get that. She could be 1,000 years old.
Yeah, and if they just drop that on you, you'd be like, yeah, I believe it. Sure.
I really like the one where they're in Vegas and Ross and Rachel get joke married, but then they actually get married but they're drunk. But Ross meows like a cat. It's very, very important to me. It's a really weird show because like sometimes they get super specific about certain jokes or like plots.
Some of those jokes and character traits don't age very well.
No.
Yeah.
No.
I think Joey's a pickup artist.
He is.
Really? Yeah.
Oh my god, yeah.
He's a
I haven't watched it since college.
He's probably one of those people that like
Joey will
YouTube would
say
have like a
stuff
shit
and I'm
list.
like, that's
wow.
pretty misogynist. I don't know if you can get away with that
I
now.
think he treats women like cattle.
He treats women very badly. But hey, he's Joey. He's fine.
He's a TV show
he's a
character.
charmer. It's fine.
Yeah, no, they're all TV show characters. You have to remember they're not real people, and you cannot base yourself on them.
Anyway, guys, we got to move on to something very important.
Okay.
Niamh, I know you have been very excited for the return of this segment.
Yes.
You
Yeah.
ready?
Yeah.
It's Bryan's old school anime reviews.
What?
Oh no.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Bryan's Anime Corner. Today, for your listening pleasure, he will be reviewing Neon Genesis Evangelion.
The year was 2006, and my boy John, he lent me a DVD box set called Neon Genesis Evangelion, the DVD set. He said, Bryan, you should watch this, because you like cartoons about giant robots. And I was like, are there robots in this? He said, nah bro, they're Evangelions.
Oh my god.
So, I watched them on my laptop, because it had a DVD drive.
I can put the music in and post. This is so annoying.
It's not annoying, it's cool.
Niamh, we're all a bit analog here.
Okay, so this DVD box set had 6 discs on them. This is the order I watched the discs in by accident. Number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4, number 6, and number 5. I think it made it better. It didn't make a fucking difference. Because at that point, because discs 5 and 6, they'd just given up.
Disc 5's pretty cool.
Yeah. You know what? I didn't like Evangelion. I didn't like Evangelion until like the second Rebuild movie when I was like, this is fucking brilliant. And
That's the happiest movie.
Yeah, it is. It's the best thing to ever come out of Evangelion. Because do you remember we watched the end of Evangelion and you were like watching me watching it?
Probably.
And then like I turned to you and you were like, well? And I was like, well, yeah.
It's my favorite movie ever.
I love it. This sucks.
It doesn't suck. That was really nicely timed, actually.
Ladies and gentlemen, that was Bryan's old school anime review. And now, moving on to a very important segment. It is the return of President Evil.
From the leading name in biotechnology comes Regenerate, the breakthrough from the Umbrella Corporation.
Resident Evil.
So, for the eagle-eared listener, it might sound like we ran out of Resident Evil movies. You are wrong. There are 3 more CG movies that we are going to be working our way through. Huge shout out to Jack Hates for providing the source material once again. And today, we're going to be talking about the 2008 Resident Evil CG movie, Resident Evil Degeneration.
Is that really what it's called?
Yes.
It sounds like a Limp Bizkit remix album.
Okay, so the first thing...
It's so true.
The first thing I have to take marks off this film for is that it does not end with the DX opening theme.
Oh, yeah.
They
missed
literally
opportunity.
shout degeneration, and then it's Run DMC being like, the king of rock, cool, the king of... It's good. But, so this is how it... This is the most 2008 movie I have ever seen. There's a part where someone shoots a gun and a bullet comes out and the camera goes around the bullet in 3D. Leon Kennedy has a parkour scene.
Oh yeah, parkour.
It's like so of that period, you know, like it's fucking crazy. I get the feeling that I like it when films feel like they come from like small teams and stuff where there isn't like a whole lot of oversight or fact checking or anything like that. And I really felt this movie had that. There's a bit at the start where it's like this montage of news footage around the world, and it's like Umbrella's like fucked, and it's like you know the company's going to shit, and an English news reporter says he's talking into the camera and he says in a London accent, and here in Europe, Umbrella's stock has plummeted. And it's like, oh my god, an English person would never fucking say that.
How good is the motion capture, and how nice is it?
It's not great. It's not great.
And like on a scale of like Final Fantasy Spirits Within to Final Fantasy Advent Children, how good is the 3D?
Oh, I think we might need to go a little lower than that. This is like a very well done PlayStation 2 cutscene.
Here.
Niamh, when was the last time you watched this?
Yeah, okay, for a while ago.
This is like a pretty okay looking PS4 game. Like, you know, from like a small Japanese developer.
So does it look as good as like Hellblade?
No. No, it does not.
Bryan, stop.
Funny though.
It's pretty
Because
funny.
you really like it. It's not good.
No, like...
It's not that it's...
Go on.
It's not that it's not good.
But...
It's fun.
It is fun.
It
I
is
had
a
a
very
lot of fun
fun
with this
film.
movie. Yeah, it is.
They're in a hole for a lot of it.
Yeah, that's when I told Niamh I'd watch this movie, she was like, which one's that? Is that the one in the hole? Later I found out, yes, it was the one in the hole.
I'm just imagining Niamh watching it and what she looks like while she watches it. Like, is she happy or what?
Yes, I am. I'm very happy.
If I had watched this in like 2008, I would have been like, whoa. So the storyline is that there was a zombie outbreak in an airport, and it stars our good friends, our good personal friends, Claire Redfield and Leon S. Kennedy.
That's cool.
And I always feel kind of bad for Claire, because I think Claire's cool, but the problem is that she exists in a world where Jill Valentine is real, and next to Jill Valentine, she don't got it.
She's second banana.
Yeah, second banana. Harsh but fair. And our boy Leon Kennedy is in it. And one thing I really like about this movie is that everyone kind of looks like garbage, but a lot of work went into Leon Kennedy's face.
They know their audience.
Yeah. I was watching this with a friend, and we had previously watched the Resident Evil, I think it's the final Resident Evil movie that Leon Kennedy is in. Maybe it's the... Vendetta, yeah. And that's a handsome man, but you gotta be pretty fucking handsome if you're gonna be Leon Kennedy. And so I was kind of like, oh, it's not really right, you know. But this CGI Leon Kennedy came into it, and I was like, that's fucking Leon Kennedy. That's what Leon Kennedy looks like. And it's also got a new Mary Sue character called Angela. And she's a girl in the SWAT team, and her brother's kind of bold.
Is her brother Curtis?
Curtis,
Yeah.
yes. Curtis has my favorite motivation of any character in like any zombie media, where it's like, how dare this company unleash a zombie horde? My family was killed. Now I will release a zombie horde.
Oh.
It's like, okay, buddy.
How good are the zombies and how good are the like super zombies?
So what you get this time is you get a bunch of regular zombies, and they're pretty alright. Like, they're unsettling, I thought. Like, they weren't bad. And then you get tyrants.
Okay.
But then you get a tyrant, like, if you hit Control T in Photoshop and then just stretched it vertically but didn't hold Shift.
So he's got like a long face.
Yeah, and I'm gonna spoil this because whatever, like, but the tyrant is Curtis, Angela's brother, and there's this really fucking weird bit where Leon is like, he's like helping Angela get away from her monster brother, and he just goes, he can sense your blood. He probably wants to use you for breeding. I'm not exaggerating. That happens. Like,
I've seen this before.
This giant monster is chasing this woman and this man, and he pretty much turns around and he's like, you know, that thing kind of wants to fuck you, yeah? And it's the strangest fucking thing in the world. It's so weird.
That's such a normal thing to say to someone.
Yeah. And then another like big 2008 thing. The monster is like chasing them, and then a photograph of the monster's family falls down, and he grabs it with his big monster claws, and he goes, "Woo!" And he just screams, and it's really funny. And I think you'd quite enjoy it, Brian.
Yeah, you'd love it. This is what I'm saying. These movies are amazing.
I like the most recent one.
Yeah.
I actually really enjoy like highly rendered 3D animated movies. I think Advent Children is a very special movie. I think
if you're willing to drop that down to like mildly rendered 3D movies, like
okay. But you know how like there's Toy Story, and that's like one of the greatest films ever made, and then there's Advent Children, which is like one of the actual greatest film ever made.
Yeah, totally.
like Toy Story is a pile of shit compared to
Robert Ebert. I think is quoted.
Robert Ebert,
is that his name? Roger Ebert.
Sure, Robert Pattinson.
He was quoted by saying that Final Fantasy Advent Children is the pinnacle of human creation, and we might as well just stop.
I'd love to see Daniel Radcliffe play Leon Kennedy. That's the film I want to see.
I can't joke about that.
I want to see Daniel Radcliffe.
As hard as I'm rooting for little Daniel Radcliffe, he also needs to know his limits.
Do you think he could be in a Resident Evil movie?
Sure,
Azure.
completely. Yeah.
Azure Tyrant?
No.
A licker?
No.
Like a cool bad guy that's called like...
You need a nerdy younger brother for Chris Redfield.
I need to protect Danny.
That would be so cute.
I need to protect
Chris Redfield holding little Daniel Radcliffe under his big chunky arm and running with him.
Daniel looks like he kind of vaguely knows what's happening.
I love you, my brother, son.
Oh, yeah, that'd be
Daniel
good.
can work with Rebecca. It's really good because she's like a scientist.
Is Jill Valentine in any of these CG movies?
No, I don't think so.
We're never going to beat Jill Valentine from Apocalypse.
No, you won't.
No. So I guess there's no point in trying, but still.
There's a bit in the third movie where it's a scene with Rebecca and she's drinking a cup of coffee, but it's her favorite like chai latte or whatever, and it's just the most well animated, like satisfying like sip of a cup of coffee I've ever seen.
Really?
Oh yeah, it's a very, very important part of that film.
There weren't an awful lot of parts of this that were super well animated.
Oh.
I mean, it is totally functional. Leon's funny in it because he's not really Leon. He's just kind of action man. And like, there's this bit where like Angela, later on they go to like a cliffside. The movie ends by the like camera panning up into the sky and just being like, maybe next time.
What, the zombies will win?
Yeah, I don't know. But it's like, there's a bit where him and Angela's like, she's super cute, by the way. I liked Angela. She is also much better looking, like 3D wise, than the rest of the film. Like, someone wanted their insert character to be cool, and I would say they succeeded. But there's a bit where her and Leon fall into the water and they just kiss just for no reason.
Leon has that mystique about him.
So sexy.
I feel like that's a pretty... I'm not... Like, I don't know if Mystique... But there's a Mystique strong enough to just let you kiss people.
Is she not worried about the zombies?
Yeah, but Leon...
Yeah, is she not like, oh my god, there's zombies and my heart is racing? Is that how that works?
And then so anyway, later Leon's like walking away from the grave or whatever. I don't know. It escapes me what that was about. I only watched it a couple hours ago. I don't... Anyway, but and then Angela's like, hey Leon, maybe we could go diving again sometime. And Leon's like, yeah, maybe. And then him and Claire Redfield are walking away, and Claire's like, well, what was that about? And he goes, doesn't matter. And then he's like, what does matter is you and me. Want a lift? And then it pans over and his helicopter is there, and she's like, no. And he's like, huh. That's the end of the movie.
Because he does have a helicopter. In Resident Evil 4, he's best friends with a helicopter.
Choppy.
Yeah, it's an important thing that Leon Kennedy is friends with a helicopter.
So, Resident Evil Plus off to a strong start. I mean, like, you know, I make fun of the film. I had a good time with it. I laughed a lot.
This sounds like one of the best films ever made.
How many umbrellas out of 5?
How many umbrellas out of 5? I'm going to give this one 4 umbrellas out of 5.
That's really good.
Nice.
Yeah.
The next one you have is Resident Evil Damnation. Degeneration, Damnation.
What's the last one called? Retribution or something?
Vendetta. The last one is Vendetta. They left the D title tag behind.
But
I hope they never stop making these.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, it was fun. I'm really curious to see where this goes. This is another bit I really like. This will be the last thing I'll say about it. Where they're like, wait a minute, but who gave them all this information? And then the camera zooms out with the characters like looking around, being like, who was it? And it turns out it's the one incidental character in the movie who's never done anything.
Gotcha.
He had glasses and an accent.
That's how you make a film.
That's how you make a film. But yeah, Angela was cute. I liked her. She looked good in the dress at the end.
Okay. Can I take over for a little bit?
Sure.
Okay. In the last episode, we all had a big list of questions about who's going to be the next king or queen of the podcast.
Absolutely, we did.
And you both drew.
We did.
And we haven't...
Wait, what was... Hang on, what was that?
I feel like I should contest the draw, but we've gone too far at this stage.
It's too late now.
Yeah, it's too late.
And some people messaged in giving different suggestions, and they were kind of relating back to me, which is good because I also want to be heavily involved in this and I get to make the final decision on this. But I wasn't a big fan of those suggestions. So earlier on,
harder, I guess, everyone.
Sorry, but earlier on you were like, Brian, we need something, and I was like, I'll think of something. So in the past few hours, I've thought of something. So there might just be a tiny bit of setup just to get this right, but this should work. Can you just make a bit of space there? Could you just move that? Thank you very much.
What the fuck is that?
That is a big red button. Niamh, can you just test it out there? Okay. It was like a buzzer noise, but I didn't like that. But I thought that was kind of like a nice hotel bell.
Okay.
Like, John, you want to try? Okay. So you each have the same bell noise, unfortunately. But it's whoever touches it first.
I win! I'm the queen! I did it!
He's explaining the rules, John.
John, do you want to lose a point?
Yeah.
No.
Okay. I have a list of questions. Okay. Some of these questions are really, really bad, so I'm not going to ask all of them.
Okay.
Did you write them?
Yeah, I wrote them earlier on.
So you wrote really bad ones? Then?
Yeah, but I also wrote good ones, and I'm gonna call them out.
Okay, how many do we have to get to win?
Until we get to the end, and we figure out who has the most points, and then they get to be the podcast queen for 2018.
Oh, it's gonna be so sweet.
But there's other stuff I need. Okay. Anyway, the name of this quiz is called "Who Loves Bryan the Most?"
Oh my god!
And these are questions about me. Now, these are very, very fair questions. This is all information that both of you have been available to. A lot of this information I've actually said on the podcast, so the fans, you are more than welcome to join in on this because you might know the answer that they don't. But this is all stuff I've said to you. So I don't want to hear any bullshit of like, oh, well, like John would know that, but I wouldn't. Okay? And vice versa.
I like
that
I'm the
fair.
example
That sounds fair,
for
yeah.
bullshit. Yeah, okay, go on. This sounds good.
Just because this is a podcast and you can't see this, Niamh has put up her hood.
I'm serious now.
She's ready to fight. Okay, so these are questions about me.
Okay.
Question 1. This is an easy one, just to start off. Who is Brian's favorite video game character?
Mario.
Kirby.
Kirby. That's 1 point to John.
Get out of here, you fucking weak-ass non-contender. Mario, are you fucking serious?
Look at the fucking fan art. Or not the fan art, the official art.
Mario.
The official art of the podcast.
He buys a Kirby game every fucking year.
He buys a Mario game every year.
They don't come out every year. He gets mad when they make a Mario Tennis.
I do. If there was Kirby Tennis, I'd buy that shit.
Okay, that was one question.
And that was me who hit it first, by the way.
What you didn't answer?
I was preparing. I was pausing for dramatic effect.
Okay. What does Bryan have a fear of?
Wait, no, I know it. We talked about it recently. Oh, it's like fire or something.
No, Niamh.
Misprinted maps.
Nope.
Oh, not being organized.
Nope. It's a genuine fear. It's not a joke answer. What is my fear?
That was not a joke answer.
Babies.
No, I love babies.
Niamh, you're not hitting the...
What is it? You guys are useless. I have a fear of heights.
I didn't know that.
I have told you this 3 weeks ago on our walk home. I opened up and I told you I have a fear of heights.
Yeah, my brain just was like, that's not important.
Yeah. Yeah, I can tell. Yeah, well, let's see who's going to be the fucking podcast queen if they don't give a shit about Bryan. The best person. Okay. Besides guinea pigs, what are other animals that Bryan loves?
It's a hedgehog.
I do love hedgehogs. Mm-hmm. Do you have anything?
Cats.
I do. I also love cats. But John, I'm going to give you a point. Mm-hmm. That's 2 points for John.
2-0.
Okay. What is Bryan's least favorite Ocean's heist film?
2.
13.
What do you mean by 2?
This Ocean's 12.
That's correct, Niamh. I fucking hate Ocean's 12 so much because there's a bit in Ocean's 12 where Julia Roberts' character Tess, for one of the heists, plays Julia Roberts. So in the logic of that film,
oh, I saw that. That confused them because you know they have that weird face actor thing where like I can't remember the people's faces or names. That confused the shit out of me.
But just the fact that that's a star-studded cast starring George Clooney, Matt Damon, Andy Garcia, and they all just play the characters. That's not fair. You can't do that. That's bad. I hate that film. Thank you, Niamh. Okay. Now to counterbalance, what is Bryan's favorite Matrix film?
Matrix Reloaded.
Yes. It's 3 points to John, 1 point to Niamh. But Niamh, thank you. Hey, which actor or actress does Bryan hate the face of?
Zach Braff.
Not the answer. No, it's.
Oh, what?
It's not what I'm.
I know. Maggie Gyllenhaal.
Nope.
That's me.
Oh shit. It's someone I like.
Yes, it is.
Oh no.
It's someone a lot of people like, and it's not fair.
Ruby Rose.
No.
What? Is that the only person I like?
And this is my problem, not this person's. I'm the one with the irrational problem. You don't know.
Don't know.
No, wait.
You should know this.
Yeah, I know.
We've spoken about this. I've spoken about this to both of you.
Oh my god.
Can I say you're not going to say?
Can you give me a hint?
No, that's not fair.
It's a woman.
Okay, Bryan, say it.
Sarah Paulson.
Yeah, I knew it was a...
And I've seen her in lots of stuff, and I really, really, really respect her. I don't like her face.
It's still ridiculous. Okay.
I know, it's very irrational. It doesn't make any sense. It's a silly problem that I have. Okay. Who is Bryan's all-time top-tier waifu?
I'm gonna say it is Stocking from Panty and Stocking.
No.
Chiaki.
No.
Chie.
No.
That's what I was trying to...
Tarja.
No. You guys are...
Galco?
No! You guys are trying way too hard. Like, look at me. What do I like, and who would be the girl in it that I like?
Rebecca.
That's my real life girlfriend. Talking about a fictional anime girl. A waifu. Yeah, this is really upsetting me. John, you should know this, and Niamh, you should know this. What do I love?
Persona.
No, what do I actually love?
I don't.
What's a manga that I love, and who's in that manga?
Nami?
Yeah.
Yes!
Okay.
He got a hint for fucking that one, and I didn't get a hint.
We both got a hint, Niamh.
You both got a hint.
I don't know anything about One Piece.
You know that Nami's in it.
Only after that.
I've spoken to you about Nami.
There's a bias here.
Okay.
Yeah, the bias is that I'm the better one.
Okay. And what is the true reason for Bryan liking Nami?
Like, I know, but I don't want to say.
It's not that. What is the actual reason I love Nami?
Titties.
Nope.
She overcomes some hardship that
Nope.
was inspiring.
Nope. She is inspiring, but no.
Orange hair.
Nope.
Well, I'm out of reasons.
Yeah.
Alright, I'll give you a clue. What's her role?
She's a pirate.
She's the navigator, Niamh.
Oh, she's a human compass.
Yes, maps.
She's a map.
I just want to talk about Nami real quick.
Oh.
But you know how you have a waifu, but then you're like, yeah, she's so hot. But what I would spend my time with Nami with is we would just look at maps. We would talk about maps. She would show me the maps that she's drawn.
Yeah, I have a similar thing with Ormika, right?
Yeah. Okay.
Anyway,
Anyway,
I'm fucking pouring out my soul here, and you're rolling your eyes and fucking throwing your arms up in the air.
anyway, those are all practice questions because here's the actual
Are
question.
you kidding me?
No, I was 4-1! I was 4-1!
Okay.
Yeah.
So this is the one that decides who is the podcast king or queen. Okay? Or queen. I guess it's only queen. There's no king.
There's no...
Okay, who is the podcast queen? Alright. So this is like using the word like the actual product in it. So how many Game Boys do I own? Niamh, that was you.
6.
That's correct.
Yes! Yeah!
Okay, name them.
No, what? I don't know much
Name
about
them.
Game Boys.
Name my Game Boys.
Big grey, little colour.
Alright, I own an original Game Boy, a banana yellow Donkey Kong Land original
Yellow.
Game Boy.
So 2-4.
I own a purple Game Boy Color. I own 2 Game
No
Boy...
one gives a shit, Bryan! Who's the fucking queen?
Niamh. I own 2 Game Boy Advance SPs. I own an original Game Boy, but it's a recolor, and I own a Game Boy Micro, so that's 6 Game Boys. I also had a Game Boy printer, but that's not a Game Boy, but it is a Nintendo system that says the word Game Boy on it, but I'm not counting it. I own 6 Game Boys. That's really, really good, Niamh.
I figured.
Yeah, that wasn't a lucky guess. Mm-hmm. I told you that this was going to be weird and that you were going to have a reaction.
I just think that was a really fair and just...
Fuck you! No, it wasn't. That was such I expected this to be bullshit, but that is a level beyond. I thought even you were capable, Bryan.
I just know that I'll probably need help ruling this kingdom, so Bryan, because of your fair, level-headed attitude, I would like to extend the queenship to you. I feel like we ruled really well last year, and maybe we should just continue for another year.
Niamh, I would be honored.
Yay! Queens!
Woo! Queens forever!
My life is an infinite nightmare. Certainly not.
This is
I feel like that last set. Would you fucking stop that? I like it's the honestly, I'm gonna be perfectly honest. It's the listeners I'm worried about. I think people are gonna be upset at the way that went. Honestly, no one's gonna be happy about that.
They're smart, loyal subjects. I think
I
they will
feel
understand.
we've let the listeners down. We've let ourselves down. We've let the integrity that is the Apple's iTunes podcast chart down. Why? What was that? It's me, isn't it? It's me.
Niamh, this is you. You ready?
Just
a gunshot.
Yeah. I really like this app.
Moving into our strategy talk. Niamh, tell us about fucking Overwatch Blizzworld map.
Oh, you're still playing it. I knew it.
Okay, no, I went back to it because the Blizzworld World map was released, and so was a whole pile of skins.
Oh yeah, the theme park.
It is the wankiest, most terrible map I've ever played in a video game.
But is Diablo in it?
Oh, it sure is.
That's so cool! Wow!
Diablo's fucking epic, bro.
Yeah, Diablo is epic.
I just can't believe that
Except
Blizzard...
in the third game when they made it a girl, because that's fucking sexist.
So the Blizzworld map is literally a map, and it's a good map. Like, it's actually fun to play on.
Yeah.
But I wish it was skinned with literally anything else in the world, any other theme. This theme is just Blizzard. It's just in-game advertising the map. Like, they have, like, Hearthstone Tavern. That's their game. They have Heroes of the Storm Arcade. Their other game. They have statues to World of Warcraft characters. It's just insane that we have a map that people will have to play on that is just one giant advertisement for the company who made the game. I can't believe they got talented devs to make this super wanky map.
How about the skins?
Oh, they're pretty good. Like,
Yeah.
Farah's got a really good... Well, it's okay. You know Blizzard.
Yeah.
You know.
They're like, is it racist?
We did one Google and then
That's-
we didn't bother check anymore.
That's for the public to decide. Oh, still having fun with Overwatch?
Yeah.
That game is nearly 2 years old.
Yeah, and I guess 2 years is exactly how long you need to do a memorial to yourselves in your game.
I guess so. Speaking of which, I played a bunch of Street Fighter V Arcade Edition.
Oh yeah.
Uh-huh.
Another 2-year milestone.
Another 2-year milestone. So I think the full Arcade Edition is $40 or €40. And I feel like that's a really good deal for what this package is. You get like a ton of characters. Like you get all the original Street Fighter characters. You get Street Fighter, you get Season 1, Season 2, which is like 12 additional characters or something insane. And all the new characters are fucking brilliant. They all have their own really strange mechanics, their own like ways of playing and stuff. I didn't poke around with them too much because I was going to go through all 12, but the first one I picked was Colin. Have you guys seen Colin?
No.
She's like a Russian girl, and like she has a bunch of grabs and stuff. She can shoot ice.
Oh yeah.
I thought her name was Colleen.
Yeah.
I don't know. They pronounce it Colin in the game.
I thought it was Colleen.
Yeah, I thought it was too, but then it was not.
Huh.
But she's really, really fucking cool. She's one of these characters where like none of her specials are super amazing, but she has a special for nearly every situation. So at any range she's effective, but you have to know how to use her. Like she's quite difficult to use. But man, I had such a good time with her. Like, and I forgot how much I like playing Street Fighter V. The new story mode is a real disappointment. The way it works is like you can now do like there's now paths for every Street Fighter game. So there's Street Fighter 1, Street Fighter 2, Street Fighter Alpha 2, Street Fighter 3, Street Fighter 4, and Street Fighter 5. So Ryu will have a separate story for all those. So if you beat his paths in all those games, where you'll only fight characters from those games, you get like an ending, not a cutscene, it's more just like an image. It's like a comic book page on your screen. And I actually think the drawings for them are fucking awful. I really don't like them. A lot of people got angry at the Bengus art for Street Fighter V. I actually really like it. I think it's not always good, and he draws girls really weird sometimes, but I liked how expressive it was. I liked the color choices. It was really stylistic. This is the most boilerplate generic, just Street Fighter comic art, and there is something that really irks me with like illustration sometimes when you have like someone who can very obviously draw and who has no concept of color at all, like will not mix any like cold or warm shades into the shadow, so it's just brown, everything's brown.
Oh no, that's
Yeah.
not what you want from Street Fighter.
Yeah, and that's disappointing. And then on top of that as well, I just still feel like the people who made Street Fighter V don't understand what's cool about Street Fighter fiction. And maybe that's me. Maybe I'm stuck in this weird Street Fighter Alpha 2 era where Street Fighter the animated movie is the best thing in the world. But that side of it is disappointing. But other than that, like, the gameplay is great. There's a lot of new additions. Figuring out the new characters was a fucking blast. The season 3 characters look really cool, and I'm really pumped to be playing Street Fighter again. It's been awesome. Bryan,
Yes.
you have been playing a fighting game.
Yeah, I've been playing Dragon Ball FighterZ. FighterZ?
Dragon Ball Fighters. I think it's Dragon Ball Fighter the Z. I think it's definitive.
This is the new Dragon Ball fighting game from Arc System Works.
Mm-hmm.
I'm still recovering. I've had the flu the past week and a half.
Very bad flu.
Very, very bad flu. I've been coughing this whole episode, and I'm in my dressing gown.
You got a little towel as well.
I do have a little towel. But I got this over the weekend, and I played it when I could open my eyes, and it was so intense that I had to close my eyes. So I've only played 4 hours, but holy shit, they were some amazing 4 hours.
Mm-hmm.
I'm loving this game. I'm having an absolute blast.
Yep, it seems really cool. I've only put like 2 hours into it, maybe. It seems cool.
Yeah, I'm about halfway through the story mode.
How is that?
The story's really good.
Is Android 21 as fucking cool as I think she might be?
Yeah. No, I really like her.
She's 10 years old. It's cool though. Used to be a 40-year-old mom.
Oh yeah, because yeah.
So it's the mind of a 41-year-old mom in a 10-year-old cyborg body?
It's the mind of a 41-year-old mom in the body of a cyborg who looks like a 41-year-old who's really been taking care of herself, but she's only been in that android body for 10 years.
Okay.
In other words, everything's all on the up and up.
Sure, I
Did
do.
you see her when she turns into fucking Majin?
Yeah.
How does that happen? Does like Majin Buu eat her or some shit?
I'm sure she does some experiment.
Yeah, no, she's experimenting with everything. Like she's showing off early on in the game, and you're like, oh, she's the bad guy because it says so on the back of the box.
Yeah.
But the twist is she's the bad guy. It's ridiculous. It's cool because they have like 3D models for like Bulma and stuff like that.
Oh, really?
But Bulma's not playable in the game, but she's like fully animated.
I would kill if like there was like a Saiyan Bulma or something.
I think they have plans to add more characters.
8 more.
So because there's no Master Roshi.
What outfit's Bulma wearing?
The one that she wears in Super, the one with the red kerchief and the white T-shirt. Like she looks good. It's not the worst iteration of Bulma. I don't like Afro Bulma. I think that's the worst
Afro
Bulma.
Bulma looks really silly.
I hate Afro Bulma. And I love
She was just
Bulma.
trying something.
Yeah, she just looked like a weird. Because you know when you're a kid growing up, and you see photos, family photos, and there's that one like period where your mom had that hairstyle, and you're like, what was she thinking?
Yeah, that's Afro Bulma.
It was the style.
Yeah, but you know how sometimes because
But when you stack all of Bulma's outfits together, she made some amazing choices. And look, she got it wrong once or twice. Who here hasn't?
yeah, but she just got it so wrong that time. My favorite things about this game are when you knock out a character, but they'll go flying through some of the background, and then you'll move to a different stage area to like continue like the narrative of that. And I also love when you do like an ultimate finisher kill with a beam, and it'll do like a little like mushroom cloud like blast radius.
Yeah, that's deadly. The dramatic finishes.
Yeah, and it's real kind of like hit and miss getting them sometimes, because sometimes I will do it and I've ticked all the boxes, but it doesn't happen.
Yeah, that's happened to me.
But then you do get it sometimes, and it's so fun to just like be like, well, look, it'll happen. It's such a great feeling to witness it. I guess this is my first like proper 3-on-3 fighter that I've ever really played. Like I played a bit of Marvel vs. Capcom. This is the first time I'm really taking it seriously, and I'm thinking about like who's on my team and why am I tagging them in and out.
Yeah, we had a little game there and you murdered me.
Yeah. Well,
I need to get stronger.
At least for now, I can murder you. It'll probably be for another week, and then you'll kick the shit out of me. But I will enjoy it while I can.
You should.
But Niamh, you walked in on us and you pointed out that it takes a while for us to play around.
Yeah, it's a long match.
It is. It's got a timer of about 300 seconds, but that will go down. I'd say it takes about a minute or two. Like I'd say it takes up closer to 2 minutes.
One thing I would say there though is me and Bryan are so new to that game, and we're doing like the most basic bullshit possible.
I know, but it's like, you know when you watch Tekken, like it's over in an instant nearly.
Tekken's
the match.
very, very quick.
Yeah, team fighters do tend to take longer, but like the higher skill ceiling on team fighters, like if one of your fighters gets hit, they're dead because they're just comboed into infinity.
Oh no. I played some of the online. I was playing ranked, and if you play ranked, you're at the very bottom, so you're just fighting with other like duds, and so I can pretty much get my way out of there very, very quickly. But if you play casual and you're up against anyone, you just get the shit kicked out of you. But that's kind of interesting to see as well, because
I feel like as long as you have some idea what's going wrong, that's kind of not so bad.
sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. Sometimes I'm just like, I didn't know you could die this way.
Yeah.
The game worked pretty much from launch, which was great. And I thought you'd have to like download a patch to switch to the English audio, because I hate the Japanese audio of Dragon Ball. It's never been my thing.
You look sad.
I just love Goku's voice actress.
I hate her. I
Hate
hate
it,
that
hate
old
it, hate it.
that old lady needs to be fired. Like they
I'm
should
not-
tell her to
I'm
fuck
not-
off.
I'm
They
not-
should change the locks and tell her no. You can't do it anymore.
I don't like Vegeta's voice actor as well. He's too stoic. You know, he's not like brash enough.
I love the American dub. I especially love Piccolo's voice because it sounds like 8 men all with very, very deep voices speaking at the same time. Piccolo.
I was watching the history of Trunks there recently. Have you guys seen that?
No.
It's like a 40-minute special, and it's good. Like it's really nicely directed, and it's about like Trunks surviving in like the future when Android 17 and 18 are just murdering everybody.
Aw.
And it's really sad. Like it's really it's cool. But there's a bit I liked at the start where like the narrator is telling how like all the Z fighters have been killed by the androids, and he's like, they got the best of Piccolo, they defeated Vegeta, and even Krillin. And I was like, what? And then I went down into the comments and everyone was like, how did they beat Krillin?
I really like Krillin in the fighting game. I really like the short characters because a lot of the projectiles and because they just have a smaller hitbox.
Yeah.
I love playing as Majin Buu, but he's fucking massive, so I don't like playing as him.
Yeah, it's super easy to
Yeah,
combo.
he's really like he's just sticking out like a sore thumb. So I like playing as Kid Buu.
He also has a super that can activate nearly instantly and hit you anywhere on the screen. So that kind of evens it out.
Yeah, that's true. Like he is one of the strongest characters. There's Son Goku Black, which I guess is the alternate universe Goku, where he has a British accent and an earring.
One of my favorite things.
And he has a sight.
I listened to Giant Bomb this week, and Jeff Gerstmann was talking about it, and he really likes the game, but he doesn't like about Dragon Ball, and he's like, these cannot all be real characters. There's a guy in there called Goku Black.
Yeah. In Dragon Ball Super, Winnie the Pooh is in it.
Yeah, he is.
Did you know
What?
about
No,
that?
I haven't got. What?
He's in. I think you might have. He's in the first tournaments, the strongest tournament arc. Vegeta fights him.
Yeah.
Vegeta beats the shit out of Winnie the Pooh.
He is a big yellow bear in a red t-shirt that doesn't fit
yeah.
over his big fat belly.
You know why that
And
is? It's because Toriyama does not give a flying fuck anymore.
I really like the story about people asking Toriyama about Lunch, because I really like Lunch, the girl who sneezes and her hair changes color and then she turns evil, and she stopped being in it. And someone asked Toriyama, how come Lunch isn't in it anymore? And he was like, who's Lunch?
Toriyama's level of apathy towards his own creation is like crushing.
Yeah.
He does not care.
And that is something interesting about this game as well, because there is so much like love and dedication to material that doesn't give a fuck.
Yeah.
And there is bits where you just like, you're looking at it and you're like, what the fuck is this, is the scenario where you're fighting and there's like dinosaurs in the background. And you're like, when are we? What's going on?
Dragon Ball FighterZ REV seems cool. I'm looking forward to spending more time with it.
Such an amazing game. Like this is Arc System Works at their absolute best. And I thought Guilty Gear looked good. This looks even better. I'm just stunned constantly by this game.
Yeah, it's cool. Niamh, tell us about the Knights of Azure.
Azure?
Azure? Who knows?
Azure.
They always pronounce it Azure in the animes.
Really?
And trust me, it comes up a lot.
This game was recommended to me on the Let's Fight a Boss Reddit because it's got gay characters in it. It's got lesbians.
Does it actually?
I got the game and it came in the post and the back of the box said, Best Friends Reunited. And I was like, what? Okay. All right. And that either means like two things. They are just best friends or they're gal pals. Because like they won't market these things like that.
You think... I was going to say, just think the localization got freaked out, but I think more likely it was whoever made the game got freaked out.
Yeah, completely. And that's what it is. It's this really strange game. It was released in 2015 for PS Vita, PS3, and then PS4 in 2016. So it looks like a game that could be on the Vita.
Okay.
Awesome.
But
so it's very empty looking.
Yeah, it's like empty corridors of buildings kind of thing.
It's
kind of that Persona. You're playing around a very square like area, but like the stuff they've populated it with and the color is nice. Like it's kind of purpley. It's always nighttime, so there's purple and red shades in there, and it kind of looks cool. You play as a character called Anase, and she is reunited with her best friend and girl she went to high school with, Lilise. And it becomes and she's called Lily for short. So there's our first lesbian clue. Lily.
Yeah.
Could you break that down for us, Niamh?
Okay, so like Yori means lily in Japanese. So lilies are always used in Yori and other lesbian media to kind of symbolize.
Oh, okay.
Very good.
Yeah. So there, that was the first clue. And they're reunited. And then it kind of goes all Final Fantasy X, where Lilise has to sacrifice herself to the Night Lord, the Nightman cometh.
Dennis Reynolds.
To keep him at bay, because we're at like this is like 800 years past this event where this Night Lord made constant night and leaked blue blood everywhere that turns people into fiends. So it's your job as Arnase to be Lilise's knight and to lead her to her final sacrifice. And
that's really sad.
I don't like when the
clue number 2.
Yeah, because they always have to sacrifice.
Yeah.
She's destined to die. So this game is really like, I was like, maybe it'll be subtly gay. Maybe they'll throw in a few things here and there. I've played about like, I think it's like 15 hours long, and I've played 6 hours of it. And it is just gay from the start. They love each other. Like, they are just in love with each other. They share a room, and they talk about how they used to share a room before, and about how the bed was comfortable.
Yeah,
That's
people.
just me and Bryan. It's fine.
They dance with each other.
It's just me and Bryan.
Just two adults doing
Anase
something.
leans in to give her a kiss and is like, oh no, I can't confess at this stage to her. Like, you get to, like, you live in this weird mansion with a butler called Simon who just looks like Ken from Street Fighter.
What the fuck does he do?
He's just kind of like, he's kind of morally ambiguous. Like, Anasta's like, you're evil, and he's like, I sure am. What kind of paintings do you think I should hang in here? And then you can choose, like, I chose one that was like literally Lilise. She's like, I don't know, I think it should be of my girlfriend. And like, it's just,
what kind of game is it? Like,
it's a hack and slash.
Okay.
So the combat system is like combo based hack and slash. But then you have these things, and it was really weird. I went to the item screen and I saw the word fetishes. And I was like, oh no, what? Why did they tell me to play this game? So
But you like fetishes.
But then I picked up a fetish and it was a doll. Then I picked up another fetish and it was cannonball. And I was like, okay, this
Cannonball, that's interesting. Like, how does...
Pressed flowers, a lion statue, a sword, just random shit.
Sexuality is like a just mysterious spectrum that kind of... It's an adventure, you know? Like, anything can happen, so this is all adding up.
A woman married a bridge. Like, do whatever you want, dude. Two women, one woman on a bridge, whatever you want. 2018.
Yeah, whatever. Like, it's all good.
This sounds like a really, really progressive game.
So you get your fetish, and then you can turn your fetish into a serven, which is this is what mixes up combat. You get to bring 4 serven into battle with you, and they are literally summons that will fight for you.
So can I turn my fetish for cannonballs into a servant that will fight for me?
Yes.
Game of the year.
It's just it's like a thesis writer's like dream. Like, when you go to level up, you have to go to this special area, and the game is like, you better change into something more comfortable, and you come out in underwear and a white flowing robe, and then you have to sit on the altar of blood sacrifice to level up. And I was like, what is this game saying?
This sounds like a really, really normal time. Like, in every
I am
aspect.
hearing no problems here.
But this is the thing with it. The gameplay's really fun.
Yeah?
And the character writing is really, really thoughtful and sweet. They really love each other. I'm really invested in them. I'm like I'm going to be sad by the end of this. So this game is just totally insane. Really gay at times. Then at other times it does the gay baity thing where it goes, we're not gay, we're best friends. And then they continue to talk about how much they love each other. So it's a really strange game. I'm having a good time. I'm glad I'm playing it.
You seem kind of troubled.
I'm just like, every time, like, I'm like, what am I doing? Like, but I'm having a good time. It's one of those games, like, you play and you're like, this is so weird. I don't know who this was made for. I guess me. Here we are.
Yeah, like a very strange person. A very normal woman.
Yeah, you get this thing. I get, like, Rumble Roses or whatever. I've never actually played those. They look shite.
Yeah, they are.
Oh my god.
It sounds like you're having a pretty okay time with this.
Yeah.
It's cool that it's 15 hours as well. I thought it was going to be like 60 hours. And I was like,
No.
oh no.
No, it seems to be pretty short, and
Okay.
the combat's like fun. You get different weapons which change up your combos. You can have multiple different fetishes. Some are like healing buffs, some are attack buffs. You have AoE attacks or like sharp attacks that will do direct damage to one character, and you're fighting little demons out in the world.
To me, this sounds like a game that was made by a very small studio that had a mishmash of different assets, and they were like, look, if we add all these together, we can make this. And they were like, how cheap will it be to make? And we're like, well, if it's 15 hours long, it could be this much. Mm-hmm. And then they got a good distributor, and it got localized and everything.
Yeah, it seems like a small budget, but I think they went, okay, let's do it, and then wrote a very strong game around a lot of weird limitations.
That sounds cool.
Yeah.
I was trying to find the person. Oh. Reddit user Muffin Zeta is the person who recommended this. Thank you, Muffin Zeta.
That's such a good name.
It's pretty good. That's on the Let's Fight a Boss Reddit. People can just Google that to find it. But yeah,
there you go.
Cool.
Reddit or / Let's Fight a Boss.
Or / Let's Fight a Boss.
Such a good Reddit.
Such a good Reddit.
I should post there. I should read a Reddit.
Yeah. It's cool. Someone drew me a dream girl. Very accurate.
Oh, cool.
Brian.
Yeah.
You've been playing Horizon Zero Dawn.
Yeah, I'm just going to talk about this very, very quickly because it's not good. I've played 16 hours of this game. I've tried to be as fair as I can with it. I do not like this game. I'm not going to play it anymore.
Would you say this game could go fuck itself?
Yes, absolutely. This game can go fuck itself. It's not fun. I cannot recommend it to anyone. But if you like this game, can you please tell me why? Because I really, really, really tried it with this game, but
you're like genuinely curious.
Yeah, I'm really, really curious because it's just I'm not getting anything out of it, but I know people are.
I know people like the story.
Yeah, the story is good, but the characters in the story are not.
Okay.
This seems to be one of the things where the game just is not clicking with you on any level.
No, yeah. It makes me feel empty inside to play. Like it is the opposite of fun. And I think when a game does that, you have to stop playing it.
Yeah. You can't waste your time on stuff you don't like.
So the plan is, it's still worth a lot in GameStop, so I'm going to trade it in next week to get Shadow of Colossus.
You're up for replaying that again, yeah?
Yeah, I wasn't, but then when I found out that like it's properly done from the ground up, that piqued my interest.
It's been reviewing really well.
Yeah, it has.
It's Shadow of the Colossus.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I have a mild disdain for that game, and and it's for the pettiest reason in the world. It's that I think it's good, but everyone else thinks it's like amazing. That's my problem.
And I really like Shadow Colossus. I love Ico, the first Ueda game. I think that's one of my favorite games ever made. It's my favorite PS2 game. But I want to support this game because maybe they'll make an Ico from the ground up.
That'd be deadly.
I'd way prefer that. But,
although that game did some fucking cool, weird little PlayStation 2 stuff as well.
Oh, it used all the tricks. It used that system to its fullest.
Totally. But yeah, Horizon Zero Dawn, thumbs down.
Yeah. I'd be curious to see if you guys want to play it. Like, are you in it? Do you want it?
No, like, to be honest, your enjoyment of it has not really turned me onto it, and there's so much other games.
Considering it's like open world isn't really my thing, I could see myself having a lot of the same problems you are.
Like, the problem is it's not even open world. It's like too small to be open world, and the camera is too close. It doesn't zoom out enough. Like, it's not like Breath of the Wild or something like that, where the camera, you have full control of the camera, you can really pull out. Like, she's always kind of like, her legs are always out of frame, so it's too close. It doesn't. Right. So, well, like, this is one of the other games you're going to be talking about, but it doesn't feel like that kind of game. And this is a hunting game, but it's not.
Speaking of hunting games, Niamh, you've been playing Monster Hunter World.
I've been playing so much Monster Hunter World. I played 35 hours of it.
Jesus, Niamh.
Yeah.
It didn't even come out a week ago.
Niamh, that's so bad.
I don't know what I've done. Like, as in, I don't know. Like, if you told me you're at the start of the game, I'd be like, yes, I haven't progressed.
I've played like 8 hours, and I'm like, I need to fucking slow down.
Oh man, I've had so much.
You're a damn junkie, you know that?
I said it online, it's Destiny. Like, it's literally the Destiny loop.
Oh no.
It's like, hey, there's no narrative reason for you to do this, but armor looks cool, so you better go grind some armor. Oh, look, you've grind some armor, but you killed another animal in the process of doing it, and they give cool armor. Better go grind that monster. And it's the
problem, though, Niamh, is that you're saying this to yourself.
What? Yeah.
Okay, no, with the Destiny thing, I totally get it, but the one thing I would say is I don't think Monster Hunter's evil.
Why do you think it's different to Destiny, though?
It's probably not as calculated as
Monster
Destiny.
Hunter isn't incentivizing you to put money into it. And it's also not as random as Destiny.
Destiny doesn't really incentivize you to... Like, I've never put money into Destiny. Like, ever.
But there are loot boxes.
There is, and that became more of a thing in Destiny 2. And again, you can avoid them. I just mean it's Destiny in... You don't play this game for narrative. Like, there's literally no narrative in it. It's Monster Hunter World. It's a world full of monsters. You kill them. You hunt them. That's it. After a while, the rationale for doing a repeated task over and over again, just the act of doing it doesn't become enough for me. And I'm kind of like I feel like I can stay at something longer when I feel it has narrative rationale to it. Like, even if they were like, this monster is a dick, you better go kill him.
Oh, I can tell you what the story is going to be. It's going to be a monster is acting up, and the reason the monster is acting up is another bigger monster.
Yeah.
Sorry for the spoilers to everyone, but that will be the story.
Oh, no.
I was like telling someone about it, and she was just like, what did the monsters do? And I was like, nothing. Like, nothing. They did nothing.
Here's the thing, Niamh. What if the game ends with your hunter sitting down, looking in the mirror, and just being like, who's the real monster?
That's the Shadow of Colossus.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, it seems like monster hunting is a thing at the moment.
Yeah.
Or just like hunting beasts.
That character creator at the start, how long did you spend in it?
Way longer than I wanted to, and then there was a cat character creator, and I was like, fuck!
I really, really like that you're the default player. That's so
Jesus
fucking funny.
Christ.
Because you know how you did that face reveal video in the summer, and one of the comments on the YouTube...
the comment with like 1,000 likes was like looking like character creator number 2.
Yeah.
I don't know. Did we make that joke on the podcast?
We've all said it, but Bryan has said it a lot recently as well.
Yeah. It's so funny because you do look like
that was fucking uncanny though. That was like is this a... That was one of those Truman Show moments where I was like, wait, is
It's just funny because it's you and you kind of deserve it.
And you always say that. You always say it when something like fucking weird and cosmic happens. You're always like, you kind of deserve it. Like, what does that mean?
Because, like, okay, the other week I left for work early. Or I went into work early and John was just out jogging and it was like freezing cold and he's just like doing weird stuff.
That's not weird.
Yeah, it is. Go inside.
Yeah, I know. It's like John's like doing all this stuff to like try and like live a normal life, but like he's always looking behind his back because he knows it's just bullshit. And sometimes it's so in your face like this, and it's just you can't help but go, haha, John.
Weird stuff happens. I can't help it.
Yeah. It's just really, really funny when a Japanese video game like does it to you.
It's really good. The tweets were amazing, but when I saw it in real life, like moving and you can rotate it, it was just even more uncanny.
When I saw the tweet first, I was like, oh, that's cute. Someone made me a Monster Hunter. And then I was like, wait. And then I went and I looked up a video of the character creator and I was like, oh, no. And then I bought it later that day and I put it in. I was like, maybe it's not all of them. And then my face stared back at me from the television. And I was like,
help, John!
Trade with me.
It took me 2 hours, but I made an amazing character. And then I brought her into the game, and it looks so different.
Yeah.
It looks like someone commissioned like a wax like mask of my character's my face and then put it over a real person. It just looks like a horrible mask.
Does it look that way in the cutscenes or?
Because
mine looks alright in the cutscenes.
It looks okay in the cutscenes, but you know when like you finish hunting a monster and there's that little clip of you like dusting off yourself off and shit. Like she looks awful. She looks terrible.
I've seen a bunch of articles about that. That's a shame.
Mm-hmm. What weapon? You're playing it too. What weapon are you using?
Hammer. I can go, it's hammer time.
Well, you like slow, heavy weapons, don't you?
I like very slow, deliberate action.
Yeah, you like a good weight.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I'm playing the exact opposite. I'm playing with the insect glaive, which lets me hop into the air and do a triple, like, air dash.
Does that mean you really have to chip away at them?
Yeah, kinda. But I'm pretty strong now.
Okay.
Very strong.
And what does the cat do?
The cat is, like... So it's like, again, with Destiny, like that, you can team up with a group of up to 4 people and take down a monster.
Yeah.
So if I'm fighting a monster and I feel I can't take it down, I can send out an SOS flare and that will bring people, people can answer it and come into my game. Your cat is there to fill a space for when there's no human there.
Okay.
So when you're out in the world on your own, it's you and your cat. If there's 2 people, it's the 2 of you and both your cats. If there's 3 people, there's 3 humans and the main host's cat, you know, and then if there's 4 people, there's no cats.
Okay.
So it's basically just to help you out.
You can make armor for the cats, and it's the cutest shit in the world.
Oh,
that's very soft.
Yeah. And I think the game has like a great little personality as well. Like I like when you go into water and your cat gets out a little raft because it doesn't want to go in the water. It's really funny.
And how good is the online?
Good. I've been like just answering people's SOSs loads because I've been like farming a lot.
Yeah.
So I've just been hopping into games with loads of different people and it's been really smooth. I've never had an issue with it. Sometimes it can't launch me into a session straight away and I have to go into just an offline session. But once I go into the online from the menu in game, it's fine.
Who's your favorite monster?
Oh God. For ages, it was that bird monster that holds the rock up in front of it because I think it's really cute.
That's like the most basic ass boring monster.
But he has a little rock. Well, the other ones just look like a T-Rex and shit.
Barrett is so cool.
Yeah, like
I smash him with my hammer and he's all cracked at the end of the fight.
That's pretty cool.
It is pretty cool.
Yeah, I think the bird looks like, I don't know, it's fun.
I like a lot of those monsters.
Yeah, they're all cool.
They're fucking amazing monsters. Just get to the bat thing.
No, not yet.
It's very cool.
I've been doing... I should move on. You see, I've been grinding so much. I have really good armor, but nothing else.
Is there any story to this game?
Yes.
Basic.
But it's like when the story scenes come on, I'm like, oh, fucking come on.
Yeah, it's like a little bit of filler where it's like, hey, hunters, you're all here to hunt monsters. There's a big monster that we've seen over here, so you should go hunt that. Congratulations for hunting.
Are there any villages with NPCs where like you
No.
learn about the world?
You set camps, and they're basically fast travel points for you to drop into zones where might.
You have your
monster.
hub, and your hub is a village, but there's not really NPCs. They all just serve a kind of.
So this is
there's
a
a
function.
blacksmith.
This is a big giant safari.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like I'm really really curious about this game, but I don't.
Monster hunting is 98% of what
Yes.
you do in this game, and the other 2% is crafting stuff.
No, I would say it's 50% monster hunting and 50% in menus crafting shit.
Yeah, sure.
Like it is. That is the game. It's like hunting monsters and crafting.
How awkward do you find it? The experience in general.
Not very.
It's incredible because like this is my third Monster Hunter game, and this is the first one I've really truly enjoyed. Like the other ones, I was kind of forcing myself to play them a bit. The quality of life improvements, and like everyone's kind of talking about this, but there's one or two I really want to talk about. In the old game, the way you couldn't. There was no monster tracks. There was nothing you could like investigate. There was no points for that, you know. So you had to find the monster, just go to every zone, and also like the levels were broken up into 10 zones which had loading in between them. So you had to keep just going around until you found the monster, then walk up to it and hit it with a paintball. And a paintball had this really slow animation it would throw, and you could miss the monster with the paintball, and you had limited paintballs. And so then once you hit the monster, it would show up on your mini-map, and wherever it would go, you would go, so you just follow it around the map. But the paintball would also wear off. And so say if you're fighting like an aerial monster and it just flies away into another zone, if you don't hit it with a paintball, do you know how you find it? Fuck you, that's how.
Oh.
And you just have to go around from point to point to point. Whetstones were limited. You could run out of whetstones in a fight, meaning your weapon could go completely blunt. You needed to have, so were pickaxes. You had to like bring pickaxes with you, and you couldn't downgrade weapons either. Like, the quality of life changes they've made to this are the difference between me liking this game and me not playing this game.
I can like it's their best selling game, so I guess it's worked because I've had like I would never call like there's no one part of it where I'm like that's awkward and annoying. But if those things were in it, I don't think I'd be.
It makes me think that like Monster Hunter isn't quite as complicated to get into as people have made out. It was just awkward and bogged down with shitty systems, and now the systems are good. Like the whole your bug tracker guys, they're great. Like I think it's a really I really like tracking monsters through the woods now. It's really exciting. But I'm having a good time with it. Very, very good time.
And those bugs that like help you track a monster, they don't just appear and help you. Like you have to find things, and then the more you find, they'll appear. So it isn't like a direct path to something either. Yeah,
and I like that because like the more footprints and stuff you find, the more you're leveling up your knowledge of that monster, and so then like, you know, then you can find it easier, and you can find out about its weaknesses easier, and you just have to go to like the internet and stuff for that. And they also had no numbers in the previous game. You had no idea how much damage you were doing to a monster.
Oh. Yeah, they've made it way more accessible.
Way more accessible.
That sounds, that they're all very, very good signs. This sounds like the best Monster Hunter game ever made.
Do you ever feel guilty when you play this game?
I feel bad for the monsters sometimes. I was playing online last night, and I was playing with another hammer user, and like we got the monster down, and it was just both of us just fucking wailing on the monster's head like over and it wasn't one of like the big strong monsters. It was like a soft pretty monster, and like I felt pretty bad about that.
Yeah, like before I came over here, I was playing, and we were like I was in a match with four people, and we got a Barrock down like straight away, and it was just the four of us hitting it with a stick, like, and then it just was limping away while crying, and you're like, you can't not kill it, you know what I mean? There's no like, you can't just be like, well, I've taught it a lesson and it's gone away.
He'll think twice before he tries that again.
Like there's no you kill the monster, like,
but
then use like part of their bodies as weapons or
and
shields.
Part of it is I think just like the stuff they've done bringing the monsters to life is incredible. Like that's some of the best animation I've seen in a game in a long time. That when you see two monsters fight, it is so fucking cool. Like they've made these custom animations for when different types of monsters like get together.
Oh, okay.
And like sometimes they win, sometimes they lose, and it's so cool.
So it looked like these two generated monsters. Well, I guess they're generated based on like the list of monsters in the game.
Yeah, more or less.
But they'll have fight animations that properly connect with each other.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I saw one
it's not
monster-
two rigs mashed up against each other.
No, they're really good animations. I saw
so
one
cool.
monster drop another monster off a cliff.
Yeah, like the Angent, it's kind of like this T-Rex kind of thing. That boss fight is so cool, and like all of a sudden this giant dragon comes down to this like huge T-Rex, and they're just having this brawl, and you're like, I'm gonna die in the middle of this, so you have to just like get out of there and kind of watch them have at it until you can come in again. It's like,
And feed off the scraps.
yeah, the animation is fantastic on
When
the
I was
monsters.
playing with some guys last night, 3 monsters showed up in the same area, and we all just got up to a high place and just watched them go at it.
It's that kind of stuff is cool. Like you feel like, and that's nearly what adds to my guilt as well, is they feel like animals fighting each other. Like it's pretty cool.
It just seems like that world would exist even if you weren't there.
Yeah.
I'm just
And
this
they're
horrible,
just like these big dumb animals that are just
Yeah.
violent anyway.
And the other Monster Hunters didn't feel like that either. They didn't have monsters clashing.
Oh really? That seems like such a big part of this
No,
one. That's
in
where all
the-
the tension comes from.
In the other one, you'd mostly go to a single map and there'd be one monster, and you'd just kind of follow it around. There was some instances where like another might appear, but it was very rare.
Yeah, this sounds like a huge improvement to what I played on the 3DS.
Yeah, I like this game a lot, and I struggled with the 3DS games.
Wow.
And you imagine playing this game without a second analog stick.
That sounds unplayable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, we should move on into our Quicktime Events.
The Nintendo Labo. This is kind of old news, but we didn't talk about it in the last episode because we missed it.
It was the day after we recorded it was released.
Yeah. This is the new Nintendo game that uses a very interesting peripheral, which is cardboard.
Which is
Yay.
cardboard and your own imagination.
Yeah.
No.
No.
When I first saw this, I was like, what is it? But then I thought about like Donkey Konga that uses the like DK bongo drums. And I was like, oh, it's a new controller, but the controller is that it's cardboard surrounding your Joy-Cons or surrounding your body in one instance.
I thought this looked really, really cool.
Yeah.
I was a little like, I saw people being like negative about it online, and I know like it's not shocking that people would be negative about something online, but the reasons people were being negative were so fucking stupid to me. Like people being like, man, kids are gonna break this. Fucking, it's arts and crafts.
Yeah, it's cardboard. Like, I really love the whole idea of that. That comes box and it's all flat packed and you can just assemble it. But it means that you can just trace that stuff if you want to, and you can reuse other cardboard from other, because there's always cardboard in your house.
Yeah, Nintendo said that like there's access to free templates as well, so if anything gets damaged, you can cut it out of other board.
Yeah.
And like even then, like people were talking about kids as if they're just destructive little monsters. It's like it has to be an old enough kid to play a game as well and do, like, you know what I mean? It's just, it was such a weird criticism.
If I would put a Switch in a kid's hand, I'm sure he can handle this.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the whole idea is that, like, I think kids who get the Switch are, like, really, like, honored to have one, like, because it's a big deal to get something like that. I've got a cousin who's 12, and he got a Switch for Christmas, and he loves it. And, like, he takes it very, very seriously. He's got the carry case and everything.
Yeah.
But he's the perfect age for this.
But yeah, and like that's like the people complaining were really seeing it from I don't like this, and imagining a child having fun with this is just beyond my capabilities, which was just really lame.
Yeah.
Yeah, totally.
I have a whole pile of papercraft groups, and they were going fucking nuts. They were like, papercraft has gone mainstream.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it was really funny.
I'd say Nintendo will make a killing off it.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be big.
This is such a great idea. And they really, like, this is them thinking outside the box when they don't need to, isn't it?
Yeah, that's what's exciting about it, I think. Like, this is such a risk, and I really think it'll pay off, but Nintendo do not need to be taking risks right now. Like, did you see the earnings report for them?
Yeah.
Up 261% in profits.
Yeah.
The Switch in under a year has outsold the Wii U in its lifetime. And would have sold more if there was more units available. So there's like 14.86 million units sold of the Switch so far.
Jesus.
Yeah. They had a few other stats, but one of my favorite stats is that Splatoon 2 for the Switch has sold the same amount as Splatoon 1 for the Wii U.
Like, total.
In its lifetime.
Yeah, in its lifetime.
That's crazy.
And that's kind of like the way you kind of measure the Switch against the Wii U.
And the Switch was not the biggest selling console last year, was it?
No, I think the PS4 was.
PS4 was, yeah.
Yeah.
But then it wasn't out the whole year either.
No, it's only been out 9 months. It's been out since the start of March.
Okay.
It's nearly a year old. It's 11 months now.
See, sales were up on the 3DS as well. Mm-hmm. What the fuck? Who's buying a 3DS nowadays?
I think it's just a...
Detective Pikachu is going to be on it, so anyone who wants to play that game.
Yeah.
I thought they'd really consolidate their libraries, but they seem to be keeping them separate.
It actually seems to still be working out somehow.
Yeah.
That kind of goes against...
Yeah. They said that they'd support the 3DS until 2018, like until the end of 2018, I'd say. Like,
I think they're just going to keep the two.
Yeah.
Like...
It's a pretty old system now, though.
Yeah, I would nearly see them maybe... You don't come out with another portable console, though, do you?
No. But I know, like, the likes of Game Freak and all that are making a new Pokemon, but it's for the Switch. And it's going to be, you know, a double release Pokemon, you know, like they usually do. But it's going to be, like, on the Switch, and you can play it on the TV if you want. But whatever that's going to look like is going to look pretty damn impressive.
I guess when Pokemon comes out on the Switch, then the 3DS is... Then it's over.
Yeah. And then the other big news that they had was that they do have an online service plan, but it's going to come out in September 2018.
September, God.
Yeah, which is ages away.
Yeah.
But if that's the case, they'll probably have a big game to promote at Wish. So I'm looking forward to that because they will have to do, like, they'll have to build up a lot of online games.
I just think all they need to do for that thing to be fucking successful, dump 50 to 100 old ROMs onto a service, let you play them.
Yeah.
20 quid a year, people go fucking nuts.
The plan is that you get to rent a SNES game for a month.
I think they've changed that.
Yeah, I think they've walked that back.
Okay, good, because that was a bad idea.
If
Yeah,
they,
it was.
yeah.
I prefer if it was just a full-on Netflix style library.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, that's what the Xbox One is getting.
Yeah.
They're getting an online service, which is kind of an all-you-can-eat buffet
Game
of
Pass.
games. Yeah, which I think is really cool and might do wonders for them.
Yeah.
Like €10 a month to play as many games as you want. It's a lot of 360 titles, and it's all first-party releases, and it has a pretty decent library.
Yeah.
Yeah,
What kind of stuff?
kind of what you'd expect.
Like a lot
you
of
know,
Halo stuff.
yeah.
ForzAs and
Gears.
Gears, yeah.
But like for the 360 era, I ended up playing a lot of games through just renting them, and I think this is like a really great game.
You rented stuff in the 360 era?
Yeah, loads.
Wow.
I've never rented a game.
I used to rent all the time for like Super Nintendo and a little bit for N64. Then I stopped.
I was like Extravision would just do a great deal where it was a tenner for a week. I could just finish the game.
Yeah.
But like, I think this is, if you can't, like, if you don't have the money to buy a new game at €60, you can play €60 for 6 months of this all-you-can-eat service. And I think that's a really great deal for someone and might be a good move for Xbox.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
totally.
think it is, absolutely.
Mario Kart Tour.
I don't know what this is.
This is the
Fuck,
mobile...
for a second there, I thought Niamh was going to be like, I don't know what this is. I said, how did that person...
Who put that there?
Me. It's their Mario Kart game for mobile coming in 2019.
Oh, I haven't seen anything about this.
Yeah,
Okay.
they announced it today.
Will it just be like...
I guess I care about Nintendo more.
Sure.
Will it be like a tapping game?
Probably.
Cool.
Cool.
Yeah, it's nice that they exist. They promote the real games that they make.
And the Mario movie is being made by Illumination Entertainment.
Yeah, I think this is actually the best studio for the job. Illumination are...
That first Despicable Me movie is alright.
Yeah.
They're a studio based in Paris, France. They're known for primarily the Minions, also Secret Life of Pets.
The Minions, as everyone knows, is a favourite fictional character of this podcast.
Yeah, Bryan Minion That's what they call me.
That's what they call him.
Bryan the Minion.
Bryan the Minion.
Not the Queen. John, you're a minion.
No. No. No.
There we go.
No.
That it is.
No.
Please, ask letsfightaboss@gmail.com. Send in your John fan art of him as a minion.
Oh my fucking god, I wish I could go back to Dirt Baby.
Now you're going to be minion.
Let's continue.
I think Illumination are the best pick because they do a lot of dialogue-free animation because they're French. And Mario is very pantomime-y, very mimey, very corporal acting.
Danny DeVito's going to voice Mario.
That'd be cool.
It would be great.
I really, really love the cutscenes of Mario 3D World on the Wii U. When I saw them, I was like, this could be a movie if they could figure it out. But if they had that level of quality for 90 minutes, I'd watch it. I think it'd be good if it's like if it's something like Shaun the Sheep, where there's no dialogue or there's like noises made by characters, and that's like the only way you can like indicate what's happening. I think that'd be great.
I think the budget for Illumination will do well, because one of the things I don't like about Illumination is they use a lot of reuse. But I think with Nintendo money behind them, they have a good look for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Shigeru Miyamoto is producing it, so he still gets final say on stuff.
EA Bioware pushes release of Anthem to spring 2019.
Fuck yeah.
I was nearly going to put this on our predictions list, like that it will not come out in 2018, but I was like, that's too easy.
This game is not out for 12 months.
No.
So what are they, like, what the fuck is going on in EA?
Oh.
Are they just making football games for the next
I
year?
think they're making a Destiny, and they're making it exactly how Destiny was made.
Are they just going out to Vegas to just like study addiction?
Oh my god.
Pretty much, that's kind of what they want.
I'd say the next 12 months is just they're going to be like testing addicts.
They have like fucked up so much in 2017 that I guess they're scrambling. They really need Anthem to land.
And like, people liked Inquisition. You liked Inquisition, right?
I like Inquisition.
But people aren't passionate about Inquisition. Like,
No.
I hear so few people who are fucking into that game.
Yeah, no, it's like, it's better in hindsight after playing Andromeda, and it's like, it's alright. It's not the best Dragon Age game, but it's not terrible.
Yeah. I am very excited to see what that game is. I am paying this game a lot of attention. I'll probably never buy it, but I think BioWare, I like BioWare. I think they've really fucked up recently, but they did a lot of stuff I really liked, and I do hope this game works out. Like, I hope people like it.
It'll probably have nice trees in it.
It will probably have nice trees.
Like, that's something, isn't it?
That is something. Yeah, totally.
A lot of alien trees. Okay.
So we need to do these predictions
Yes,
because it can't get any later in the year, or else that's cheating.
that's true.
So this is going to be the predictions for 2018 that will decide the 2019 queen of the podcast.
Well, we didn't predict Nintendo Labo, so
No.
it is a free-for-all.
Yeah. So our first prediction for 2018: a new Silent Hill game will be announced. Niamh,
No.
Bryan,
No. John?
yes.
Okay, so this is a Silent Hill game.
They announced a new Metal Gear Solid. They've said that they want to do something new with Silent Hill.
Okay, what counts as a game?
Silent Hill in the title, or it takes place in the town of Silent Hill.
Could this be like a pachinko game?
Yeah,
No,
Okay.
This is a proper coming to your PS4 game.
Okay, so
Not a mobile.
Not
Not
mobile.
a mobile. Not a
Okay.
mobile.
Okay, so this has to be on the PS4.
Or Xbox One and Switch.
Okay, yeah,
but
yeah.
there's no tomfoolery
It
happening.
needs to
here.
go to a home console.
They announce it, they release a trailer, and I'm like, oh my god, maybe it'll be good. And I talk it like that. When I talk. Yeah, that's the voice.
No,
Okay.
absolutely not. It might come to mobile, but no. Let's be realistic.
Metal Gear Survive will be great.
No.
And I'm going to quantify that with it gets over a 75 on Metacritic.
That's hardly a great. I think that's a fair. Over 85 would probably be great.
It's never going to get over 85.
Yeah.
Okay, I don't think it'll get over 75. I think it'll get close, but it won't get over 75. No.
I don't know about that one because, like, people are really passionate about their weird resource games. So maybe there will be enough people upvoting it.
The Giant Bomb Unfinished was very positive.
I think no.
How about you, John?
I'm gonna go no. I don't think it will.
I think it'll get to 70%, but it won't get 75. Like it'll do okay. There'll be a bunch of weird fucking freaks that love it, but it's not a good game. Like it's made by Liquid Kojima. It's not the same game.
Next question. This is a two-parter. Star Citizen will release in 2018. Do you guys know what Star Citizen is?
Sure.
Star Citizen is one of the most successful Kickstarters of all time. It got kickstarted fucking years ago. It's never come out. People have put thousands of dollars into it because people want their own spaceship. Star Citizen is basically what they pitched No Man's Sky as.
This isn't coming out.
No, never.
Okay, no, and I'm gonna say no as well.
It's not coming out in 2018. Maybe 2050.
Okay, here's a returning favorite. Which publisher will have the biggest PR disaster this year?
Like, what can EA do this year?
Yeah,
Like,
I feel like
because they don't have a game.
EA, but
I feel like they're going to stay quiet this year. They're going to try and go under the radar.
So you don't think it's going to be?
No, I don't think. I think they shouldn't. They should learn. But I think it's probably.
I'm gonna go with Ubisoft just because they've had a good year. So maybe it's time that they made a mistake.
Sure.
Ubisoft, I'm out for you.
I think maybe Warner Bros.
Warner Bros.
Yeah, them.
And I am going to go with. You know what? I'm not basing this off anything, but I'm just going to say Nintendo.
Oh.
Someone's gonna come out.
I think that Labo is going to kill children.
Some boy's gonna get a paper cut.
Oh, I accidentally typed John for John.
That's our
Probably
John.
more accurate.
It's our special boy.
Final Fantasy VII Remake will be terrible.
Well, it's not coming out this year.
Isn't that? I thought it was coming out in 2018.
It's not coming out. No way.
They'll show a trailer at
I think Part 1
E3.
is going to come out in 2018. I've heard reports that thing's pretty much done.
Yeah, but they're putting out Kingdom Hearts this year. Kingdom Hearts 3.
I'm going to check this.
I think Kingdom Hearts 3 is closer than Final Fantasy VII Remake.
Well, that's no fun because we know Kingdom Hearts 3 will be terrible.
It's got Woody in it.
I think Final Fantasy VII being terrible will be so objective because people are not going to like that no matter what it is. In some ways, just purists. But maybe then it's also just terrible.
I think Final Fantasy VII will be terrible. Or you know what? It'll just be fucking 6 out of 10. Is that terrible?
I count that as terrible.
Okay, yeah, then it's going to be real fucking dull.
Will Final Fantasy VII have in-game advertisements a la 15?
It might have Pizza Hut in it. There might be a bit where like Barrett's like, I need a KFC.
So we're all yes. That's going to be terrible.
Yeah.
I hate predicting that a Final Fantasy game will be bad.
Well, will it be good?
You know what? I'm going to say I think it'll be good.
I think it's going to be good.
I'm going to be realistic and say it's not.
We really want it to be good.
I know, that's nice, but you have to be realistic.
Okay, I like this one. A sleeper hit, so something that we have not heard of prior to the beginning of 2018, will break our top 5 for Game of the Year.
Top 5.
Top 5.
So Sleeper Hit's a broken top 10, no problem.
Yeah.
But top 5. This is a mystery year. Like
Yeah.
there's very few games that we know of. Because a lot of release dates aren't like concrete and like they could slip into 2019.
Yeah.
So
I'm going to say yes.
yes, me too.
I think 3 yeses for that one.
But that means we're going to control something, are we?
What do you mean?
Because we get to decide what's in the top 5.
trust me, by the time Game of the Year comes around, we will not give a fucking shit about this at all.
Okay. Yeah, that's true.
A brand new Mario or Zelda will be announced.
No.
No. Wait,
there might be a Zelda, like 3DS thing.
A 3DS would count. I'm going to say mobile does not. 3DS does.
What about Warriors?
or like that shitty Zelda game that has the 3 links in it?
Well,
Does that count
it
as
can't
like...
be. I don't think it can't be released on previous consoles, and no version of it can be.
No.
This has to be a new game.
Okay, but you know how there's that Zelda game where you play as 3 links, but it's not like a real Zelda game. It's like a shitty...
It's got Zelda in the title.
Yeah.
I'm going to say no.
Okay, I think a non-Mario game will come out. It'll be like Mario versus Donkey Kong, like something.
That counts.
Does it? I don't know.
Yeah, is it a mainline Mario or is it just Mario in the title?
A mainline Mario
and
coming out,
okay.
isn't it?
I think
No,
it has to be mainline. I would count the new Mario Brothers as mainline more or less.
Okay.
You know, but not spin-off territory.
Um,
And I'm gonna say yes. I think it would.
I'm gonna say yes, but I'm highly doubtful of a mainline Mario or a mainline traditional Zelda.
Niamh?
I'm just a no. No.
Like something. Something might come out for Christmas.
Okay.
Yes.
A sequel to one of the following will be announced: Mother, Punch-Out, Virtua Fighter, Legend of Goemon, Super Monkey Ball, Shadow Hearts.
What's the last one?
Shadow Hearts. It's a JRPG.
Is it when you're? Is it like a game for you?
Yes.
Is it, okay.
So those are all dormant franchises that have been dormant for years.
Yes.
I could see a Super Monkey Ball coming
Yeah,
back.
me too. Because Sega are like trying.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Sega. I'd say Super Monkey Ball.
So that's a yes from Bryan, a yes from Niamh.
No, I'm going to say no, but if it happens, it's Super Monkey Ball.
Okay, it's a no from me. I don't think.
Okay.
I would love any of the. I don't give a shit about Super Monkey Ball. I hope it's not Super Monkey Ball. But if any of those other ones, that'd be amazing.
Hey, it worked for Bubsy. Anything's possible.
Anything is possible.
I think one of those fucking things. I think it'll be a different dormant franchise that we didn't even realize, and we'll go, oh yeah, hey, that counts.
Yoko Taro will be heavily involved in an announced Final Fantasy project.
No.
Yeah?
I'm gonna say yeah.
I think like he gave Square a win.
I think he's too involved in his own IP to work on someone else's.
Oh, I think he'd love it though.
Yep.
Oh yeah. He
He'd be
is
like,
a fanboy.
let's make it weird.
Nintendo Labo will be a huge financial success.
Financial success.
No.
It'll sell as good as like Splatoon 2.
I think it'll be. I would say it'll do gangbusters.
I think
I don't think it'll sell well as like the big three, which would be like Zelda, Mario Odyssey, and Mario Kart. I don't think it'll sell as good.
No,
as
I don't think it's gonna sell well.
Okay.
It'll do really well, but it won't do that well.
I think it's gonna make them so much fucking money. And the final one. Detroit Become Human will break our top 30.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, of course.
I love that game.
What if it's super offensive and terrible?
Then it's breaking our top 10.
Okay, let's make it trickier. Break the top 25.
Wow, you've no faith in this game.
I
Yes.
don't. I really
Yeah.
don't.
Yes, I
okay,
love it.
Okay, so
I love this game so much. It's the greatest game
Okay.
ever was.
now I'm going to seal that in the vault, and we'll come back to them this time in 1 year.
To find out who the podcast queen of 2019 is.
I fucking can't believe that shit with the Queen earlier. That was. I killed Niamh in that contest. I murdered her dead.
I know, but you don't know how many Game Boys I owned. So
Neither did Niamh!
I did.
She said 6, and that's
She
correct.
guessed 6.
She didn't guess. She knows my soul. That's why I kept crying.
It was a guess, but it was a very thoughtful guess. I thought about it.
Yeah.
I was just like, he probably owns that many.
John, you're probably just butthurt because you didn't know.
I hate this podcast. I hate the fans. I hate you both.
I love
This is
them.
why you're not the queen, because you have no compassion.
Oh, when my day comes.
John, the fans are the best part.
They're pretty good. I just said that because I was angry.
Actually, yeah. Should we just talk about, like, so far this year we've gotten, like, loads
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
So if you started listening to us recently, we'd be kind of curious to hear how, because, like, I won't get into specifics, but, like, we saw, like, quite a sizable increase in listeners the last episode, and I'm just kind of wondering where that's coming from. We're always growing. Every episode we get like a couple of hundred new listeners, which is fucking awesome. But this was, we'll say, a little more than that.
This is another few zeros.
Yeah, it was shocking. It was...
Yeah.
Like, to the point that we wonder, is iTunes broken?
Yeah, or has someone bought bots somewhere? Like, what is happening?
Yeah. Did we get featured on a location that we can't access?
Yeah.
Yeah. Super happy to have new listeners and stuff. That's great. But yeah, that was fucking weird.
Yeah.
Super cool.
Yeah.
We can't trace it back on anything, so we would really love to hear, if you are a new listener, specifically from the last episode, how you heard about this podcast.
And like I said, we're always growing, but this was like several order of magnitudes higher.
Yeah. So can you tweet at us or send us an email?
How would they send an email?
askletsfightaboss@gmail.com.
That's askletsfightaboss@gmail.com. Let's do some emails.
Okay, I got one here.
Cool.
All right. It's a long one, but there's a question for each of us. This is from Keenan,
Okay.
and he's from Zurich in Switzerland. Okay, John, is there... let me just clean up. John, is there an awkward story with a fan or something new, like the guy tried to watch his toilet phone? What? Or a new ghost story? I hope things go the right way for you.
Yeah, I did a bunch of cons lately, and there was a lot of really cool people. There was one or two characters in there, we'll say.
Do people hit on you?
Yeah.
That's cool.
That's gotten really weirdly frequent at cons. I don't know what to do. Like, I don't have to do anything because they're all just nice, but like when it's fucking just like someone like, oh, you're blah, 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 and I'm like, yeah, and they're like, I would totally, and it's like, oh,
You just smile and you go,
yeah, that's what I do. I'm just like, oh, good to know.
You go,
cool.
no, fuck off, I'm engaged. No.
But
Nah, ain't for you, baby. Nah.
As
say
for
like that.
weird stories, did I tell them how I lost my passport? Did I say that on the podcast?
I don't think so.
No.
So in LA, at MagFest, I went out one night
In Washington, D.C.
in Washington DC
At MagFest?
Sorry, I'm going to LA. Yeah. I went out and it was at an industry party, and I can't remember the specifics, but I know I was pretty drunk going into that party, and then there was free drinks at the party, and me and my friend, we get back to our hotel room, and I'm like really drunk, and then I'm like, my passport's gone. And you know when something's gone and you're just like, I know it's gone, I know it, like, and it was. And so then cue us like running like all over fucking this tiny little town in Washington trying to find it. I went back to the bar we were at, and later my friend Rebecca told me that when she asked the bartender at the first bar we went to, the bartender was like, oh yeah, I remember that guy, Irish guy, and he was like, yeah, no passport. But when he got his final drink, he leaned into me and he just said, fuck the Queen, and then walked away. And I thought that was pretty funny. Yeah. And I remember what that was. That was someone said I was British, and I don't give a shit about being Irish or the British. I have no opinion on that stuff. I don't care. But I really like pretending to Americans that I'm like angry over being mistaken for British. It's just really fun. And so I think what happened was someone did that, and I was just like, she's not my fucking queen. She's not my fucking anyway. But then like later on in the hotel room, we were like Googling like the Irish embassy for like what the fuck we could do. And this was Friday night. Our flight home was on a Sunday evening. And I just remember this point where she turns to me and she just goes, the Irish embassy isn't open till Monday. And I was just like, well, of all the times I've fucked up, this is the second or third worst.
Yeah.
And it was horrible. But then we checked one more bar, which was in the hotel we were at, and we were like, do you have any passport? And the barman was like, no. We got a wallet. And I was like, can I see the wallet? And he was like, sure. And that was my passport in my Marvel passport holder. And I was so fucking relieved. And then I played Dance Dance Revolution till like 2 a.m.
That's a happy story.
Yeah. It really wasn't. It was terrifying. So there, that's a weird story. No hauntings recently that I'm gonna talk about.
Cool. He asks me, Brian, can you tell a funny story about John?
Oh, for fuck's sake!
I don't know if I have any funny stories. Like, during this episode, when John was talking, I was laughing into my dressing gown because I was thinking about you in general. Just about, like, where you've gone in life.
Yeah, it's been a weird road, alright.
I don't really have any stories, but you know what? I promise you I'll tell you a story in a different episode. Because there's something that's going to pop into my head as soon as we're done recording. And I'll save it for that, okay?
What about the time we went to London?
I can't tell that story. Okay, you know what? Okay, I'll tell a little bit about that. This was back when Facebook was real big. So people used to like make like photo albums, you know, where they'd upload like 20 photos. Because this is like 10 years ago we went to London to go see Limp Bizkit.
See Limp Bizkit live.
Okay, actually what happened was Deftones were doing a show. And I was like, Johnny, you want to go to London for like a weekend to go see Deftones? And you were like, fucking do it. And then I tried to buy the tickets, but they were sold out. And then I was like, oh wait, actually Limp Bizkit are on the following weekend. So I was like, John, can we go see Limp Bizkit? And John was like, so you're saying to me that we're going to tell people that we got on the plane, flew over to London to go see Limp Bizkit live? And I was like, yeah. And you were like, that's so funny. We should do that. So we went and we stayed in a hostel, and I won't tell that story. Because that's for a Saturday night. About the beds and the way they were set up.
That was so fucking.
I know.
Mm-hmm.
It was like one big long mattress with a divider.
And the divider was like cardboard. So we didn't really realize this. So Brian, you were on the bottom bunk?
Yeah. And
I was on the top bunk, and we were just sharing a room with like, what were they, like Norwegian or something?
Two Danish girls.
And they were lovely. They were really nice, but we're essentially sleeping in the same fucking bed as two girls we like never met.
Because the girls would move in the mattress and you could feel it.
Yeah.
But there was just like a piece of cardboard in the middle.
So it was just a giant bed in a room.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And something happened to John. We don't need to talk about that. But but the second night in that hostel, because we stayed 2 nights and they were playing dance music till 4 in the morning. But the first night I slept so bad, and then we had to walk around and go comic book shopping. But the second night, for whatever reason, the White Russians I had drank and the lack of sleep and all of that, like, quantified into this like equation where I had the greatest night's sleep of my life, and I woke up that morning and I felt so refreshed. In a fucking hostel. I wish I could achieve that same greatness, and I sleep in the comfiest fucking bed ever, and I can't recreate it.
White Russians.
And I've tried drinking before bed, and it doesn't work. I don't know what happened. Maybe it was Limp Bizkit, because it was the same night we saw Limp Bizkit. Oh, and we were there for 3 days, and every day me and John got sweet and sour chicken.
Oh my God.
At the same restaurant.
Twice at the same restaurant, and then once in a different restaurant.
I still go back to that restaurant when I go to London.
Yeah, it's crispy duck. It's really good. But we made a Facebook photo album, and the last photo is of me and John with the 2 girls. So should I put that photo up?
Sure, yeah.
It's a photo of what me and John looked like from 10 years ago, and John's got like a different shaped body because he's like happier. Because now his body is sad. And I kind of look the same.
My body's sad.
You know the way you put up those photos of you know, in our chat, and you're like, look, this is what I look like right now, and it's like a weird, like, it looks like Rocky.
Yeah, you look like a sad Sith Lord sometimes.
Yeah.
Sad Sith Lord.
Yeah.
Yeah, you had your hood up.
Oh, that actually.
Yeah.
That's kind of what I was going for with that one.
Yeah. So I'll put up some photos from our London trip just because they're very interesting.
And two of those photos were with those girls because we just wanted to see what our girlfriends would think of that.
Because we had like comments for all the photos, but we didn't have a comment for the last photo. But we just kind of wanted to leave it a bit ambiguous.
Michelle did not give a fuck.
My girlfriend Rebecca was very confused by it. Like she saw it and then had to have dinner and thought about it the whole time she had dinner, which is just what we wanted.
Yeah.
And there's
Awful,
a photo.
Awful little boys.
There's a really, really good photo of me in the room, and there's a no smoking sign, but I'm doing like the gesture with my hands as if I'm smoking a cigarette. And the comment says, "As if," because we were so funny.
My favorite photo of all of them is one we didn't even take. We just found it on the internet, and it's not even Buckingham Palace. It's just some random castle, and the comment says, "More like fucking Ham Palace."
Yeah.
We got a question for Niamh there.
We do. It's Niamh, you're gonna love this one. Niamh, can you tell me why homosexual women prefer K-pop boy bands to K-pop girl bands? I mean, you should find the girls more attractive than the boys, so can you please tell me why?
That is that is a big question. And I think maybe it's a generalization to think that lesbians don't like the girl bands.
No, they do, but you prefer the fellas.
I can tell you why I like the guy bands.
Yeah.
It's just purely fashion based. Purely the clothes. I relate more to
You would be more likely to wear something that they would...
I'd wear a bomber jacket sooner than I'd wear what the girls wear because that's just my style. So from an aesthetic level, it's literally just the clothing. And I think lesbians have good fashion sense and tend to dress like K-pop boy bands a lot.
I've noticed that.
Yeah, so I think it's maybe a visual thing, but I think we also like the girl groups.
Oh, you do, but their outfits could be better.
They're pretty good.
They're pretty good, but you won't wear them.
Yeah, it's like I look at a K-pop video and I was like, I'd like to buy that jacket. It's the clothes.
Do we get time for one more email, or we move things along?
We gotta move things along.
Cool. Okay, we're gonna go into our loot drop. Okay, so my loot drop this week is a excerpt from a Twitch stream, and it was before finals of Guilty Gear in Evo Japan, and it's just these two American commentators, and they really love Guilty Gear. Like, they love Guilty Gear a lot, but they also really love fighting game players who play Guilty Gear, and it's just them talking about how much respect they have for these wonderful Japanese players and how amazing they are. The big difference they say between Japanese players and American players is that the Americans you learn on your PlayStation or you learn on your Xbox, but in Japan you go to the arcade, you take a coin and you put some soul on it, and then you put that soul into the machine, and that's how you play. And if you're not going to put soul on that coin, don't even fucking bother.
Wow.
And it's just a really impassioned speech about that, and it really got me. And I'm not that big into the Guilty Gear scene, but I was like, yeah, man, yeah. It's really good. It's really cute. They're really nice guys.
My loot drop is the Heaven's Gate Cult podcast.
Oh, yeah.
It's a 10-episode podcast series about the Heaven's Gate cult, what they were into. They basically believed that they were going to be taken to another world in an alien spacecraft.
And that's what happened, wasn't it?
No, they drank poisoned punch, wasn't it?
Yeah. 39 people died.
Oh, dear.
But it's
heavily
weird
documented, isn't it?
Yeah, it's heavily documented because they kept very stringent documents. Even they found 6 cents and they logged that into their finances book. So they kept very clear documents.
A lot of video and audio of them, and they're elated in a lot of it, aren't they?
Yeah, they really believed what they believed, and it didn't seem like a Jobestown thing or something where it was just all horrible and everyone was treated horribly. These people really wanted to do this, and that's what nearly makes it so horrifying.
Yeah, that's so sad.
This is what they wanted and what they really believed. And another interesting thing is they kind of at the end, the idea was stripping away self-identity. So they all had the same haircut and the same clothes, but notoriously they wore a pair of black Nikes. So there was just these photos of these bodies covered in a really rich purple shroud with these black Nikes with the white swoosh, and Nike discontinued the shoe afterwards and hasn't continued it since then. Because it became synonymous with this. The podcast, it's a good series. The guy who narrates it was in a cult himself, and he talks about his own experience with that. I found that maybe the most boring episode because I wasn't there to hear what he had to say, and the interviewer was really bad.
Man, a bad interviewer.
Yeah, so it's like, it's one of these things where the content is really good. Maybe the podcast itself is a bit long at 10 episodes. I think it could be condensed and a bit better. But what you're getting in terms of information is kind of worth maybe how long it's drawn out.
Bryan, what'd you got?
They uploaded more episodes of Manga no Manben to YouTube.
Deadly.
The one I'm going to link is on Junji Itou. It's really, really, really good. I did not realize how slow he draws.
Really?
So it's hosted by the guy who did Monster and 20th Century Boys, Naoki Urasawa. Urasawa? I don't know how to pronounce his name. I've only ever seen it written. But it's him with Junji Itou, and Junji Itou is in his cat cafe. He's an interesting man.
Very.
There is a sentence in this documentary where it is, here's Junji Itou's workstation. It is under his bed. He has no assistants.
How is it under his bed? Does he live in a bunk? Does he
Yeah,
have
it's
a
a
bunk
bunk
bed?
bed.
Okay,
It's
yeah,
a
I was just
bunk
like, huh.
And it's cool because he works traditionally, but then he scans it in and he touches it up in Photoshop and does even more lines because he does so many lines. Like he doesn't like white on the page. He just loves chipping away and hatching and just like adding detail and detail because he's like, I just want you to stare at this page and just be shocked.
That's one of the things I love about his stuff. I feel like more than anything else, it's for him.
Yeah, it is. He'll spend 8 hours and they're like proper illustrations.
Like we are the byproduct.
Yeah,
the manga is for him,
and he gets such enjoyment of it, and like he loves exploring fear. Like he was very, very scared as a child, and he loves he loves revisiting that feeling. He just likes all the possibilities, and like he still publishes stuff, but he'll only do like 1 or 2 short stories a year. But it shows one of his short stories from 2017 called Layers of Fear, and it's such a great idea for a story. And you know how like he'll do like a 40-page comic, but there'll be like 3 or 4 like wow pages where like it'll just be like the one where you stop and you
they're
look.
the fuck you up pages.
Yeah, and so it focuses on like 2 or 3 of them, and they're all brilliant, and just the amount of work he puts into them, and just and like it's just because he just seems to have a very, very different process to a lot of other mangaka because he just works so slowly, and they're just like so shocked at how slow he works, and he's like, I didn't think it was slow.
That's awesome. That's really, really cool.
Yeah.
And guys, with that we draw to a close episode 68. Niamh, take us out with a rap.
As your queen, no more raps.
No.
Thanks everyone for listening. Thank you for being so loyal and amazing. And thank you to Bryan for stepping up and helping me rule.
Niamh, I am honoured. Thank you for knowing everything about me. We are closer together. I think me and you make a strong unit. I think there's haters on the podcast.
Like there's just me. I'm the only other person on the podcast. That's not subtle. Like you're not being classy there.
No, I'm just saying that like we all hate minions.
Yeah.
And we know who the real minion is.
I hate every second of this podcast.
Bye.
Bye.
What can I do for you?